Wow.
Side suplex, I think is what they call that.
And off to him. Nothing doing. Lacey wraps him up. Oh!
This game could decide the OCC championship.
Tyler Sauter, a man possessed.
Good job by Tyler Holt.
Yeah, she's going to tuck it and run. That wasn't planned. Bernie up the middle. Dives for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown. Left side, rumbling forward, carrying defenders into the end zone. Bernie, touchdown. Yes, sir.
It's week 4, the OCC opener for the Arrows. It's time for Arrows football, next on the Arrows Broadcast Network.
Welcome to the Simonson Countdown to Kickoff pregame show here at Community Stadium. It is Arrows football on a football Friday night. Brandon Wells, Tony Van Dyne up here in the Priest Dental broadcast booth, and Chris Mowry will join us in just a minute. Welcome in, everybody. It is a beautiful night for football. Unlike football last week, where it was a monsoon, a tsunami, a typhoon, any weather thing you could think about last week, it was crazy. But tonight, Tony, we've got a beautiful night for football for the Arrows, and they welcome in the Quakers of New Philadelphia.
Yeah, Ashland finally kicking off the OCC schedule, getting into conference play, coming in 3-0. A lot of OCC teams struggling in the first 3 weeks, a lot of the non-conference schedule. Only 7 wins right now across all the OCC teams, but 5 of those wins coming from these 2 teams. New Philadelphia is going to be sitting at 2-1 coming in tonight. Ashland, of course, 3-0. So all eyes across the conference are looking at this on who's going to take the lead early on in this season in the OCC.
Well, the Quakers played a OCC game last week. They took down Worcester, and this for the Arrows, meanwhile, is the OCC opener. Let's bring in the third member of the Priest Dental broadcast booth. Chris Mowry joins us down on the field. Chris, beautiful night for football.
Yeah, it couldn't be any better. You said tsunami, a typhoon, a hurricane. You said all that. The only thing missing from Community Stadium last week was Jim Cantori. If we would have had him show up, everything would have been perfect. But a beautiful night tonight, 78 degrees at kick, cooling down to 67, 68. One thing to keep in mind, though, and we'll talk about this a little later, too, but the wind. It's a steady 10, gusting up to 15, 18, so something to keep an eye on later. But it's Friday the 13th. Let's hope these Arrows are the boogeyman to the Quakers.
All right, we'll see if Jason shows up. Meanwhile, Tony, let's think about last week. Lindsley comes in, long bus ride. The rain was obviously a factor, but the Arrows really laid it to him.
Yeah, they answered the question that we had, in the preseason, even before this season kicked off, was what's going to happen when Ashland has a nasty weather game where they can't go 5 wide and just throw it around the yard all night. And we found out what they did. That is running the ball very effectively. 245 yards on the ground. Nathan Bernhard actually threw the ball pretty well despite the weather. Receivers had a hard time bringing him in, but still went 7 for 16, 2 big touchdown passes. Got his first interception on a little ball across the middle that sailed on him a little bit. But the Grayson Baith got another rushing touchdown. Gabe Baith adds to his receiving records. And more importantly, the defense finally got that 0 that they've been looking for going back to last year against Worcester. Last time Ashland had a shutout game. Just nice to see another 0. Had a running clock, was able to get out of that game a little bit faster than what we had expected, which was good, and send Lindsley back to West Virginia, currently at 0-2.
Chris, what stood out last week against Lindsley for you?
Well, for me, anytime a defense, I don't care if it's Pee Wee football or whatever, can pitch a shutout, that is massive. And these Arrows were able to do that. We talked in the postseason game, or show, about this defense wanting to score a defensive touchdown, and that's coming soon. The way that this defense is flying around and they're all over, they're putting 6, 7 hats on the football for tackles, that's coming soon. But for me, it's the pressure from the 3 guys up front. It's a blitzing Tyler Sauter. It's a blitzing Gunnar Lacey. It's the guys in the back end that are able to shut down those receivers when they try to go 3-4 wide, the other offense, that is. And Brian Stackhouse in that side of the coaching staff has got this group playing really well.
Well, Tony, that Stack's always going to be aggressive, right? Let's take a look at the stats from last week, the Simonson stats of the Arrows' big 35-0 win over Lindsley. It was a dominant performance. Really from start to finish overall. But, Lindsley just couldn't get anything going whatsoever. It just was one of those things. The Arrows defensively, I think you called it, guys. Stack was very aggressive, and we expect to see more of that tonight.
Yeah, the offense was able to go methodical, which we haven't seen in the first 2 weeks. We kind of scored on some big hitting plays, 70-yard, 60-yard plays, but we saw sustained drives that took 6, 7, 8 minutes off the clock, which really slowed the game down and really limited Lindsey's ability to have many drive attempts. And the defense for the second week in a row really stepped up when they got inside that red zone. We saw it in Marion Harding, a first and goal. We saw it last week, a first and goal, and the defense just continues to rise to that occasion. And that confidence, I think, begins to build not just when you're in the red zone, but when you're on the 30 and when you're in the 40. And this team is beginning to actually believe not just how good they thought they were going to be and maybe some of the hype about how good this season might be ending up. But when you start stacking wins together, you start actually believing we actually are this good. We actually can be great when we play together, when you do your assignment, when you play with 11 guys on the team on the field at any given time, each doing their assignment, good things usually happen.
Chris, last week the Arrows just dominant from start to finish.
Yeah, from start to finish. You said it. We went down and scored, and really Lindsley only had threatening to score one time, and they went for it on fourth down, and we stuffed them. But they didn't get the ball over midfield very often. Now, granted, there was a lot of weather, and it was a monsoon out here, but nonetheless, it shows you the difference in the ability for the Arrows and Lindsley last week that we were able to push the ball, score 35 points. And the one thing I mentioned last week that I think bears mentioning again, you go back to week 10 last year at Lex, and it was same weather, and we played so poorly. We scored 7 points. It was ugly, and Lex just ran the thing down our throats. And you fast forward 4 football games forward, and we were a different club all the way around, up and down, offense, defense, special teams. And I think that bodes just as well as anything for these Arrows going forward.
You're watching the Simonson Countdown to Kickoff pregame show. We'll be back with more after this break.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Welcome back to the Simonson Countdown to Kickoff. Don't forget, folks, you can watch this game over at the South Street Grill. You can catch it in the bar. But let's take a look at the stats from last week. The Simonson stat countdown, the Simonson stats from last week, because they were pretty dominant. The Arrows, we talked about it in the first segment, guys. But boy, they just dominated from start to finish.
Yeah, just kind of across the whole board, time of possession, offensing, rushing yards, passing yards, everything kind of turned up all arrows. 138 passing yards, 120 passing yards for Lindsley, dominated that line item. Rushing yards, 245 for Ashland, just 51 rushing yards given up. And most impressively, 18 first downs for Ashland. Again, we talked about a little bit ago, just those sustained drives that continue to allow those drives to eat up a lot of clock. Only giving up 6 first downs all game. Pretty impressive. Defensively, Ryan Stackhouse's team only giving up 3 first downs on 12 attempts. Chris, Stackhouse talked in the preseason about if they could only allow the opposing team to score 1 out of every 4 drives, he would be really thrilled about that. Last week, they only gave up 1 out of every 4 first downs on third down conversions.
Chris, that 18-6 first downs, Arrows' advantage was huge.
Yeah, it doesn't take a math wizard from MIT to figure that out. That's really dominant. Here's another stat for you guys. These Arrows, the defense, after that shutout from last week, are averaging 18.7 points allowed per game from their defense. 22 sacks, 5 takeaways. That's 4 on a pick, 1 on a forced fumble. And they are just having their way. The defensive line, Coach Valentine loves offensive and defensive linemen. As you guys know, he was one himself. The defensive lineman, 6 sacks, Tony, through 3 games. So they're getting 2 sacks a game from that unit alone, 22 total for the squad. This defense, we talked about it last year and we talked about it this year. This group last year was statistically number 1 in the history of Arrow football through 117 years. This team, number 118, has got a chance to be even better.
That's your look at the Simonson stats. Let's take a look at the Arrows profile for the season. Chris, you kind of alluded to it, right? Some of the things that they've been going through. They're averaging 43 points a game, putting up 413, and Bernie's been fantastic.
Yeah, most importantly than anything, it's taking care of the football. Just one interception through 3 games, and it's not because they haven't been aggressive throwing the ball. 9 passing touchdowns proves that point. Nathan's also not afraid, to tuck it and run when he needs to. 4 rushing touchdowns, usually those coming within the red zone on, read option plays or 8 or 9 yard rushes. But getting that offense off the field with points, you just can't say enough. Killian O'Brien, the sophomore, had a 3-touchdown game, week 2 against Marion Harding. He added to that last week with a 74-yard reception. And Michael Franz continues just to be a dangerous weapon offensively. 3 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown. He's a guy that you just can't lose track of. But when you look at this offensive team right now for Ashland in the 2024 season, there are too many guys. You're just looking around and saying, well, he can beat me, he can beat me, they can beat me. How do you actually begin to try to rally around this? And that's a question that tonight the Quakers are going to have to figure out.
Chris, let's talk about the Quakers. They come in 2-1, right? They've got their first OCC game out of the way, putting up 20 points a game. But their rush pass has been interesting. Only 170 yards through the air, 109 on the ground.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. Now, the one thing about the yards per rush that I want to highlight, they average 4.7 yards a rush, which is pretty darn good.
Sure
2 of
is.
them, and you're basically at a first down. So we're going to have to take care of that run defense tonight. And then the other thing that I think is vital, when you look at the stats here, New Philly's converting 27% of third downs. Think about that. Only 1 in 4 times when they face.
Not great. And the Arrows have been fantastic on third down.
That's right. When they first face third down, is that because they're behind the sticks? Is that because they try to do something that the defense is planning to take away from them? Who knows? We'll see tonight. But through 3 games, 27% is a pretty good telltale of what your offense looks like when it's third and 2, third and 8, who knows. But this Arrow defense is going to be able to really attack.
Last time the Arrows beat New Philly. Now, we haven't played them every year. There was a long stretch where we didn't play them. But the last time we beat them, 1986. Yep. So I was 9 years old. Tony, I don't know if you were born. You're like 5.
I was 7.
Right. So I was the old man. I was 9 years old, carrying the load at home, doing everything I could.
That was Brother Ben.
That was Big Brother. No, that was not Brother Ben. Head coach Mike Johnson in his 4th year. Let's take a look at the Arrows schedule, brought to you by HSLD for all your sports and video photography needs. The Arrows schedule. Guys, this is the second of 3 straight home games. Last week, Lindsley. Today, obviously, here against New Philly, and next week against Maple Heights.
Yeah, the New Philly game, probably the first opportunity for a lot of Ashland fans that are going to be willing to come out here and actually watch a football game with the weather kind of looking nice. Young cheerleader night, so there's some extra mom and dads going to be here watching their young kids cheer. You got Maple Heights coming in, currently undefeated, and it looks like they may be coming in 4-0. A big last non-conference game. And then you can see the schedule of the other OCC teams currently, 3 teams sitting winless. Madison, Mansfield Senior, and of course Lexington, all winless currently. A big one going on, Mansfield Senior and West Holmes kind of squaring up. Both just took tremendous losses last week. Both teams just having lots of questions about how this season's actually going to go. They square off tonight at 7 o'clock, and we'll find out a lot more about the West Holm Knights and the Mansfield Senior Tigers.
Well, we're efforting to get your video back, Chris, but I think we still have your audio. So, Chris, New Philly's schedule, the Arrows schedule. We're going to take a look at New Philly's schedule now because, when you think about it, right, they've already dove in to their OCC section, and then after today, they go to Mansfield Senior, guys. And, Chris, Mansfield Senior off to a tough start, but, boy, they've had a tough schedule, too.
Good to know that I know now that a 60-0 drubbing at the hands of an opponent is a tremendous loss and a tremendous victory for the opponent. So good to know. Thanks, TVD, for that nugget. Senior high is 0-3, and that's not the senior high that we've come to expect. On the other hand, New Philly comes in at 2-1. Their lone loss to Steubenville. If you're a high school football fan,
Big Red.
Steubenville is legit year in and year out. They play an amazing brand of football. And they lost that game 27-21. So the Arrow's going to have their hands full tonight with New Philly. For us, and I think if you ask a lot of people in the conference that are connected with the OCC, the road to the OCC championship goes through tonight's game, and the winner of that game tonight has a real firm grip on the OCC. Now, a lot of weeks left, but they are the front runners.
You're right, Chris. Let's take a look at the OCC. What's going on around the OCC? Who's got who tonight? I mean, the Arrows obviously open up OCC play here against New Philly. Mansfield Senior at West Holmes. West Holmes is not bad, but that's going to be an interesting one. Worcester and Madison, that's a toss-up, right? And what else do you see on here you like?
Yeah, Lexington, a lot of questions with the Lexington going on right now. You got a wide receiver that's got a banged up ankle, not going to play. Dover's playing well, had a nice win against West Holmes last week. They're going to take on currently undefeated Indian Valley, so that's a big game over there. I think Madison, I circle that Madison-Worcester game right now, a winless Madison team that I think is actually playing better than their record shows. They're putting points on the board. They've held Ontario, to a real aggressive game to open up that season. Worcester kind of dealing with some injuries. But yeah, West Holmes Senior, definitely the one that I'm circling. New head coach over at West Holmes, Choky Bradley is just steaming. Last week is going to have his kids fired up. But they got to travel. They got to go over to West Holmes. Not an easy place to play. A natural grass field. The fans get involved. It's going to be a beautiful night down there. That field can get wet. It can get slow. It can get sloppy. So going to be an interesting game to watch throughout this night.
Well, we'll take a little break. Be back with our Whitcomb and Hess pregame guest, Eb Duvall. Welcome back to the booth, the Priest Dental broadcast booth. Let's send it down to Chris Mowry, who's got Eb Duvall. Yeah, go for it, boss.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Here with longtime AD Ev Duvall, brought to you by Wickham and Hess here in Ashland. Ev knows those guys really well too, so that's really good. And any of your tax needs or financial planning needs, check out Wickham and Hess here in Ashland. Thanks for the time today.
Oh, I'm glad to be back. What a beautiful night for football.
It's a little better than last week.
Sure is.
Did you play hooky?
No, I sat in the press box.
Smart man right there. So being an AD must be a really stressful job, right? And there's things in the unknowns. How did you deal with the stress back in the day?
Well, in 1971, there were no classes how to be an AD. Sam Marshall, who was the AD, became ill and passed away, and the superintendent said, "You're going to be the AD," and there I was. My office was down where the cheerleaders' storage room is. Manual typewriters, no cell phones. It was stressful to get started, but after I got going with 8 sports, we finished with 19 when I retired.
What was the thing you enjoyed most about being AD?
Well, I just think the recognition of our athletes. We started the Scholar Athlete program. We won 11 straight conference titles in a row, all sports awards, and the recognition of our kids through all Ohio status. It was great to watch them play and compete.
All right, so here's a tough question. This is more of an opinion question. I've got my own opinion too, but who's the best Arrow football player or football players you've seen since your time here in the district?
I'm going to go back to the 70s and 80s for you. And it's not too far down this sideline as Scott Valentine.
Okay.
2-time captain, 2-time MVP. I think the only one that's ever done that. Led the team in tackles. Went to AU for 4 years, and Scott was just an all-around player, and he played with Dave Crusilius, who was all-Ohio, started at Ohio State for 4 years. Those were 2 of my favorites. And then a guy by the name of Joe Massey played back in the 80s. He was a junkyard dog player. He could do anything. He gained about 3,000 yards with all that he did in punt returns, kickoff returns, running the ball, receiving the ball. I just loved his grit.
Well, I'm going with Chris Thomas, and then I'm going with Taylor Housewright. So
I didn't go to the new era. I went back to the old era.
See, that's a good tag team. You're going to let me deal with the stuff I've been watching. You'll go back in time. So what teams, in your opinion, are the best that you've seen?
Boy, you didn't give me that in the questionnaire that you gave me, I don't believe. Well, back in those days, we suffered a little bit in football. And back in the 70s and 80s. And then it was just great to watch Taylor and those playoff teams. I think our first playoffs was 1978. And from there, I think our program really excelled, and we really had some top-notch players. Cedar to Waite was another great combo of kids, and we just had a lot of pretty good teams back then. Now, I'm not going to be put on the spot to pick the best one.
Give me a couple of Ashland High School football stories that you've got from your time.
Well, when I first became AD, we had grass field. We shared it with Ashland University.
All right, we're going to go back to the pre-stella booth here. We got the national anthem. Hang tight.
Direction of Assistant Marching Band Director Tanya Krall as we perform our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
All right, we got one question here about your story, and we got time for one answer. What's your best story?
The field that we shared with Ashland University, it would rain during the week, we'd play on Friday, and they had to play on Saturday. Fred was not very happy with us sometimes.
Well, turn around there and you'll see the Everett Duvall press box. That means a lot, I know, to you and everybody here in Ashland. Back to the pre-stella broadcast booth.
Well, thanks to Ev Duvall. Appreciate that as always. Our Wickham and Hess pregame guest, fantastic as always, guys. You know, it's let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by HSLD. Back down to Chris. What do you got for us? Anything going on?
Yeah, guys, believe it or not, we're through 3 football games in high school, and usually we see injuries, not just the nicks and the bruises and the bumps and the groans and whatnot, but that's where we're at for both squads. Ashland's healthy and New Philly's healthy as you can be through 3 weeks, so no injuries to speak of.
Well, the last I heard from an inside source, we may have one of the skill position players of New Philly out. That was just fresh off the presses from Tim Swaysgood via Grandma. We'll see. I won't give it away. We'll wait till we come back and get ready for that. How about the weather, the truly inspired weather for all your paper needs and printing needs in Ashland and Loudonville County? Go to trulyinspiredpaper.com.
Jim Cantori can go somewhere else. He's not coming to Ashland County. This is a beautiful night for football. It doesn't get any better on Friday night. 78 degrees. It's going to cool to 67, 69, somewhere in there by about 10 o'clock. The wind, though, keep in mind, is blowing about 10 constantly and then gusting up 15, 18. So extra points, maybe a field goal, 20, 30, 40 yards. It may be wrecking a little havoc with that, but we'll see. But a nice night for football.
Well, we'll come back with the keys to the game and the start of the ball game after this final break on the Countdown to Kickoff preview show. Here we go on the pregame Countdown to Kickoff show. How's that for you? OCC play starts tonight. Bernie and the boys have the offense cooking off a 35-0 shutout over Lindsley last week. Touchdown, Arrows! The Arrows come in 3-0 against a 2-1 New Philadelphia team.
It all starts with the blocking up front and giving plenty of time, and KOB finally on the curl route.
KOB to the house! 74 yards! Yes, sir! The Arrow defense has been playing phenomenally as well. Ripped down to the ground by Gunnar Lacey. Wow.
Side suplex, I think is what they call that.
Hand off to him. Nothing doing. Lacey wraps him up. Oh! This game could decide the OCC championship. Tyler Sauter, a man possessed.
Good job by Tyler Holt.
Yeah, she's going to tuck it and run. That wasn't planned. Bernie up the middle. Dives for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown. Left side, rumbling forward, carrying defenders into the end zone. Bernie, touchdown. Yes, sir. It's week 4, the OCC opener for the Arrows. It's time for Arrows football, next on the Arrows Broadcast Network. It's time for football at Community Stadium. The Arrows and the Quakers of New Philadelphia in the OCC opener. Brandon Wells, Tony Van Dyne, Chris Mallory. It is a beautiful night for football. The Arrows coming in 3-0. No games yet in the OCC. On the other side of the field, the Quakers 2-1. 1-0 with a win last week against Worcester. A beautiful night for football. The Arrows trying to move to a perfect 4-0. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Sid's Suds. Tony, your keys for the Arrows.
Yeah, continue to be patient offensively. Don't become a one dynamic team. They ran the ball very successfully last week against Lindsley. So I would say continue to run the football, pass the football. Don't become too predictable. And most importantly, take some shots down the field. When we did this against River Valley, everything opens up when you take a few shots deep. So Nathan Bernhardt did a good job of controlling the football, not having too many interceptions, just the one on the season from last week. Take your shots offensively. Chris, what do you got?
For me, I've got three. I've got number one, which is be the bully. That's normally New Philly's role when they play football. They're bullies, they're tough, they're strong.
Yeah.
We've got to be a bully tonight. And secondly is take what New Philly gives you. If the run's there, take it. If the deep ball's there, take it. If the 6-yard curl route's there that you got to go yak after the catch, take that too. And then for me, the number one, this could have been my 1, 2, and 3 key to the game for the Arrows. Control the line of scrimmage, not only on offense, but on defense. If we control the line of scrimmage tonight, these Arrows will be successful and move that record to 4-0. On the flip side, with New Philly, I've got 3 as well. Long, sustained drives. Tony, you talked about that a little bit in the pregame when we came on air. If they could eat up clock and go 6-7 minutes on these long, meandering drives, that's going to keep the ball out of Nathan Bernhardt and company's hands. Impose their will, physicality. That's what we talked about. That's what we know New Philly is. And then Keaton Fossil is their best player by a mile. He's got to be, insert your favorite Marvel or comic book character. He's got to be Iron Man or Hulk or Superman tonight to give New Philly a chance.
Chris, I've been told I look like Iron Man.
You
so
do not.
Let's go with. Wait a second. All right, Tony, what do you got for keys for New Philly?
Yeah, I'm with you. New Philadelphia has to slow down this game and limit possessions of Ashland. The skill position favor goes to Ashland here this season. So the more that New Philadelphia can control that football and slow this thing down, the better that they're going to have some success. And they need to run the football. That's kind of where everything starts with New Philadelphia. They need to find a way to do something that no one's been able to do, and that's really put it to this front three of the Ashland Arrows. Going to be a tough task here for the Quakers.
Let's take a look at the starters on the defensive side for the Arrows, brought to you by the law offices of Andrew Bush. And there it is, Donatini, Sauter, and Aber in that deep secondary. And to me, Gunnar Lacey, really the key there in the middle.
Yeah, Gunnar Lacey's just kind of the cleanup man, with Smith and Budges and Eisenhart playing the front three man. They've done a lot of good just with the main 4 guys, which allows you to drop 6 and drop 7. Gunnar Lacey doing a good job. Of course, Tyler Salter comes up and cleans a lot up. But yeah, overall, all 11 guys for Ashland playing pretty well.
Starting lineup on the defensive side brought to you by Andrew Bush, the law offices of Andrew Bush. Check them out, downtown Ashland, for all of your law needs. Chris, that starting defense really has been fantastic with that 3-man front with Cooper Smith, Fudges, and Blau getting a lot of time, and Eisenhart.
They've been fantastic. And, it's really nice when you're a coach, whether it's basketball or football or whatever it is, but the reality is you're deep and you've got numbers. Brandon, you and I are Browns fans, and we've seen bad football where they don't have good backups and good third string. That's not the case with this Arrow football team this year. They're really good with starters. They're really good with their backups, and they've got a lot of third stringers that are really good too, and would start for a lot of programs in the area and in the OCC. So it's nice to have a plethora of opportunities to play a bunch of different guys, and that's what not only on defense but on offense this squad has this year.
Arrows Broadcast Network brought to you by Sarver Paving Company, our good friends at Sarver Paving Company, serving Ashland for a long time, my friends. And if you need anything paved out there, take care. Go over to sarverpaving.com. The head coach of the Arrows, Scott Valentine, going to join Chris Mallory here in just a moment. We'll catch up with him. Guys, I got to tell you, this being the OCC opener, there's a lot of juice out here for the Arrows. People are excited and ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, a lot of these guys named this as one of the goals, and that's to win the OCC, and that starts tonight.
Coach, 3-0. We're off to a great start. We got a bully over there in New Philly, and we're going to have to play bully ball with these guys. What's it going to take for us to be successful tonight?
Well, I think we talked about playing mental mistake free. We got to play hard for 4 quarters and move to the next play.
Well, it looks like you and I are a little drier this week.
A lot drier.
Back to the Freestyle broadcast booth.
Interviews on a sideline brought to you by Spring Smith Agency. Go over there and check out our good friends Rob Wash and Nate Schultz and company for all your insurance needs in Ashland, right there on College Avenue. Tony, you know, we're out here and it's a beautiful night. We have the Arrows and the Quakers. This is it, man. This is the OCC. We're ready to get it going.
Yeah, and it's been a long time since Ashland's, I think, actually believed that they've had a shot to win the OCC. Sometimes, you know, in the past years, you always say about, hey, we want to win the OCC, but it kind of felt like we're going to be in the middle of the pack. But looking at Mansfield Senior starting off 0-3, Lexington at 0-3, Madison at 0-3, Worcester struggling now at 1-2. Right now, Ashland is sitting number one. You know, again, just week 3, you coming in here to week 4, but there's real reasons to say an OCC championship is on the line maybe tonight, at least to get that ball rolling and continue to roll as we look to maybe a week 11 home game come the playoffs.
Tony, I would say you're absolutely right. But the reality, and I think this goes for Lex and Senior and everybody else in the OCC, the winner of this contest tonight is the front runner by a mile to lift that crown at the end of the year, the OCC title.
This is a big one. It could be for the OCC. The Arrows won the toss, elected to defer, and O'Brien will kick it off on the Connery Manufacturing kickoff. Carson O'Brien, the Arrows in black, all black with white trim and the black helmets, going left to right. Thanks to all of our friends over on iHeartRadio, 1340 WNCO for joining us. And, of course, right here on the Ashland City Schools YouTube page. New Philly, the Quakers in white with red and black trim going right to left. Carson Long, the deep man. See if O'Brien kicks it deep.
Quakers took one back against Worcester to open the game last week on the opening kickoff.
It's Long from the 3. He's out to the 15. Still on his feet, lit up by Hoffman at the 23. And so the Quakers will get their first shot from the 23, led by senior quarterback Keaton Fossil, excellent athlete, multi-sport athlete as well. And he'll have Colston Fox in the backfield. C.J. Carlisle, Carson Long, and Vincent Magoni. We'll see a lot of action in that skill position players. We're told that we're trying to see if Pete DiDonato is playing. I don't see number 4 out there, and I think he might be out tonight on our injury report. Up front, Boston Crowell, Cohen Winters, Braden Wallace, Brody Lindsay, and Hawk Walkley like broccoli. There you go. That's how I remembered it.
Looks like number 7, Aiden Matthews, is going to get the start here for the night for the Quakers.
Handoff up the middle and short gain. Miles Tyson on the carry. So a short gain of 4 on first down on a run right up the middle. Sauter in on the tackle for the Arrows.
Nothing too fancy about that. Just a power run right up the middle. Letting Miles Tyson first carry, I think, of the season for Miles. So not sure if he's been out for the Quakers, but obviously ready to go here tonight.
Pistol formation, twins to the right, Fossil back to pass. He's got a man caught on the outside at the 26 and tripped up near the 30 is C.J. Carlisle. Short of the first down, third down and about 3.5 yards.
Nice job by Jackson Abers there, taking up space, just kind of flying from that safety position. Gives up 2 or 3 on the reception, but not a whole lot. Jackson's played pretty well. 6'4", 185-pound senior, kind of playing the ball hockey and free safety, strong safety back there this season. Takes up a lot of space, long range, and with that height, 6'4", hard to get around him. Good start there for Jackson.
And I see Jaden Goings out on the field right now, maybe getting in some early snaps. Third down, handoff, right side. Tyson's got the first down up to the 35, and that will move the chains for the Quakers. Take a look at the Sarver Paving replay.
Yeah, needed 4 yards, going to get 5, and had an opportunity. I think that's going to be Joey Eisenhart unblocked. Just can't close that gap enough. The unblocked man, you just have to close down fast on that. Good job, though, by Josh Ngani, kind of bringing him down, making sure he gets the first down, but nothing more.
Well, first down of the ball game for the Quakers. Right at the 35-yard line. Pistol formation, 2 to the near side. Fossil looks to the near side. He's got Carlisle caught 40 and trapped up at the 43, almost out to the 44. We'll call it a 9-yard pickup. before he's brought down by Hoffman and Abram.
Just an uncovered slot receiver there for the Quakers. Not sure if Ashland was hoping to fly someone out there to cover him, but good job by Keaton Fossil kind of recognizing that really quick. That's probably just a read that the Quakers have. One-on-one blocking on the outside, and all of a sudden Carlisle can pick up 8-9 yards, making second manageable. Probably a good opportunity here for New Philadelphia to take a shot deep.
Handoff instead. Tyson in. Brought down in the backfield. Gunnar Lacey at the 43.
Gunnar Lacey, number 24, playing that middle linebacker, just shoots the A gap as soon as he sees Miles Tyson get that handoff once again. Just too many times seeing that, taking on the B gap, and that offensive guard should have picked up the blitzing linebacker coming in on that strong attack, but good job there by number 24, taking him down for a loss of one there.
Guys, that's tackle number 26 on the season for Lacey already.
3rd down and 2. 9 minutes to go in the first quarter. No score here at Community Stadium. Fossil in the shotgun. Looking, pressure off the edge. He's got a man. That's Tyson out of the backfield. Uh-oh, trouble. He's into Arrows territory and brought down at the 33-yard line. A big pickup of 24.
Just a swing route there for Miles Tyson, letting the play develop, good patience. All of a sudden, one little move, and Ngani missed tackle, another missed tackle down there by Goings, and finally crossing midfield. Quakers now on the positive side of the football field.
Nice little drive going here for the Quakers on the opening drive. Fossil in the shotgun. Rolls right. Good pressure. Throws it out to the right side. Incomplete at the 20. And good pressure coming from Gunnar Lacey.
Yeah, starting to stretch the field a little bit here for New Philadelphia. A couple guys going deep, trying to hook up with Carson Long on an out route, just off the outstretched fingertips.
He was open.
Pretty good throw, pretty good route, just unable to bring it in. Pretty good shot there. Carson Long just not able to bring it in.
2nd down and 10, 8:25 to go in the first quarter here in the Ward Realty first half.
And you're right, Brandon. We've yet to see Pete Diodano tonight in the game.
Fossil takes the shotgun, keeper right side, cuts it back to the middle. He's got some room. He's still on his feet. And finally brought down to the 23 by Jaden Goings. Gain of 11. First down, chains moving, and this Quaker offense looking good.
Yeah, Quakers love to have this QB lead. Pulling guard and the running back all of a sudden leads through the hole. And then a couple missed tackles again once more. Tyler Holt kind of gets caught putting his head down, not keeping his head up, seeing that cut back there by leading rusher Keaton Fossil. You know, Keaton's already ran for 285 yards, so he's been a consistent runner here for the Quakers. Going to see a steady running game for number 11.
Fossil splits 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Tyson in the backfield. Carlisle in motion. It's a keeper. A little bit of miscommunication there and brought down. Maybe a gain of 1. Briggs in on the tackle for the Arrows. Looked like kind of a miscommunication here on the handoff, Tony,
yeah,
timing-wise.
I think they're just trying to show that sweep option to C.J. Carlisle and see if they can't get an outside linebacker or a linebacker to jump out and leave that hole for Keaton Fossil. Coach is sitting here beside us, I'm sure, watching that on film to say, okay, they're not biting on that. Maybe we come back to it. Definitely in the playbook, highlighted now to say, hey, we're going to come back to it. That's going to be an action, a motion that we're going to see multiple times here tonight for the Quakers.
2nd down and 9. Trips right. Back to pass, Fossil. Pressure off the edge. He's got a man long, and Long's ripped down right at the 21. Gain of 1, but Tyler Sauter with a fantastic wrap-up.
Yeah, just closing the gap fast. They had an offensive guard getting out there. This is just a quick route, number 72 for the Quakers, trying to get out there. Braden Wallace, the big 6 foot, 210-pound offensive lineman, trying to pick up number 5, unable to do so. Tyler Sauter, good job, just giving up a pass completion of 2 or 3 yards, but now 3rd and long.
Tony Stack brought a lot of pressure there on 2nd down. We'll see what he does 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, I think he's just tired of watching this long drive. We talked about the keys to the game for New Philadelphia was to eat a lot of clock, be methodical, and they've done that. Half of the first quarter already taken up, and Ashland offense hasn't seen the field.
Keeper. Nothing there. The Arrows stop it. An interesting call on 3rd and long. Sarver paving replay.
Yeah, just going with the quarterback lead once again. It's worked multiple times, but this time you win your one-on-one matchups. Miles Tyson trying to pick up a defensive lineman, just losing that battle. Joey Eisenhart's going to win that battle 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10. Going to be 4th and 9, and Quakers offense going to stay out there.
Massive play, guys. I was just going to say the same thing you were, Brandon.
Big play. Here we go, boys. First huge play of the ball game. Trips left, single to the right. Fossil in the shotgun. Tyson to his right. 4th down and 9. Pressure. Saunders got him. Yes, sir.
Fossil is set.
No question that Ryan Stackhouse is going to be pressured, and Stackhouse kind of showing that he's lined up on that slot receiver, but all of a sudden Gunnar Lacey drops and picks him up, which frees up number 5 to have a free run on would-be passer Keaton Fossil. Going to be a sack of 11. Boston Crowell just didn't even see him coming off that edge. Going to be, again, a loss of 11 sack. More importantly, a stop of the Quaker offensive drive and bringing out number 10, Nathan Bernhard.
Not surprised, were you, Chris, that they brought pressure?
No, not at all. But, you think about it, half the first quarter's gone, and you go down there inside the 20, and you come away with nothing. You talk about having your heart ripped out on the opening drive. That's the Quaker offense.
Handoff Franz, end around, there's a flag, and he's going to get brought down. That'll give us an opportunity to take a look at the Arrows starters on offense, brought to you by the law offices of Andrew Bush. Bernie back there, of course, Sauter, O'Brien, Franz, Crudy, Baith. And then you've got the other Baith. A lot of weapons for this Arrows offense and a fantastic line.
Yeah, and so far a lot of touchdowns coming from a lot of guys. Crudy's got multiple touchdown receptions. Baith's got 3. Saunders found the end zone. Killen O'Brien's leading the way with 4 reception for touchdowns. Franz has 3 rushing touchdowns. So there's at least 5 guys out there that have already seen pay dirt, all led by number 10, Nathan Bernhard.
Arrows, Chris, what was the flag there?
It was holding, yeah.
Holding going back 10 yards. I think you're right from the spot, though, so it'll be 1st and 15.
Right.
Well, maybe 1st and 20 based, yeah, 1st down and 20. 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Arrows go the wrong direction on their first offensive play. Bernie back to pass. He hits Sauter out of the slot. Wrapped up at the 23. A gain of 5. They get a few of those yards back. Guys, the offensive weapons, we talked about it a little bit. Let's talk about that offensive line. Eisenhart, Nolan LaRue, Brandon Briggs, Cooper Smith, and Gavin Chambers, and they've been outstanding.
They've been outstanding, yeah. They've given up 2 sacks on 3 games, and both of those sacks just coming on times that Nathan's been holding the ball, letting plays develop, not on missed assignments. They've blocked well in the running game. All 5 guys just really starting to gel as a unit, taking pride in what they're doing as offensive linemen, and when an offensive line comes together, good things follow.
Bernie in a shotgun, trips left, twins to the near side. Franz kind of splits it out even wider. Bernie, pressure coming off both edges. He's going to get rid of it, and he got hit. Caught by Franz at the 29. Gain of 5. That'll bring up 3rd down and 10.
2 good completions, both for 5 yards, but with that 10-yard holding penalty, still going to set up a 3rd and long. A little bit of motion, trying to confuse the Quaker defense, see if they can't get someone to not follow Crudy going deep, and maybe seeing Franz kind of pop open, but good assignment, zone defense, not playing man-to-man yet are the Quakers, just trying to keep everyone in front of them, especially when you're looking at 2nd and 15. Here, we've got a 3rd and 9.
Bernie trips left. He's going to launch it downfield. And a slot. Crudy caught midfield. First down. Arrows with a big gain right there.
That one's going to go for 23. Just a quick post route to Crudy. Thrown in rhythm. Good job there by Nathan Bernhard. He's done this all season. 1, 2, 3, and all of a sudden he comes out firing right over the linebacker, short of the safeties. Nice catch. Following it all the way in there for Dakota, making sure he has a secure catch before coming down. Now over midfield. Ashland's got something cooking.
Crucial 3rd down conversion. The Arrows have been great on 3rd down this season.
Yeah, and especially when you start 1st and 20, you almost just have to adjust the way that you're play calling because you can't run the ball. Here, Ashland trying to have another jet sweep rush. Going to be a false start.
Take a look at the Sarver paving replay. You'll get a look at it. And the right tackle, Gavin Chambers, I think the guilty party, or
right guard.
Right guard, Cooper Smith, rather. Sorry to the Chambers family. Yeah, there you go.
Home hardware, furniture and appliances, open 7 days a week.
Maybe the first false start, Chris, of the season for this offensive line?
Yeah, how about that? That's amazing.
I think that's true.
It is.
Game
It's
4.
absolutely true, and really a hats off. You talked about the offensive line, and I was going to note it too. Only 2 sacks allowed by this unit, and man, we talked about the control on the line of scrimmage, and they're doing a great job so far.
Now 1st and 15 for Ashland.
Bernie rolls right, pressure off the edge, and he's trouble and brought down by Caleb Crowthers, but he gets maybe a yard out to the 49. Yeah, and that'll be 2nd down and long.
We'll give him a yard, just nothing there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Quakers dropping in zone in that middle zone and dropping another 3 out out deep, just nothing to find, no receiver open. All of a sudden, Nathan Bernhard just gets what he can get, doesn't give up the sack. Going to give him a gain of 1. Going to be 2nd and 14 as the Quakers make a quick substitution.
I think Crowther's helmet might have come off or had an equipment issue because the officials called a timeout to force him off. 2nd down and 14. Bernie in the shotgun. Trips left, Twins to the near side. No score here at Community Stadium. Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bernie got all day. Here comes pressure over the middle. Got a man caught and lit up at the 38. Sauter got absolutely crunched.
A big defensive stunt. The left defensive end is actually going to loop all the way around and supposed to get picked up by that left tackle. Gets a little bit of a free run, but Nathan Bernhard gets it out. Tyler Sauter just can't bring it in on the big hit from Brody Gillard. Going to set up another crucial 3rd and long here for Ashland. 3rd and 15. Time just flying through this first quarter.
That was Boston Crowell in there off that tackle spot, sliding around, like you said, on the stunt. 3rd down and 14.
Yeah, that's a slow developing stunt. Sometimes you can say, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to get to the quarterback. But sometimes those slow stunts confuse the defense.
Bernie's got Crudy. He overshot him. He had a touchdown, but just put a little too much juice on it. Oh, I think Bernie's eyes got big, and he saw him open.
It looks like a nice touch pass. Just no one picks up Crudy. Again, Brody Gillard still probably excited about his big hit. Doesn't see Crudy just fly past him. Ball is going to sail 2 or 3 yards just beyond the outstretched arms of number 21, who will come back in the punt formation.
We'll send it down to Chris.
Thanks, guys. Here with senior cheerleader Riley Klein, brought to you by Spring Smith Insurance Agency in Ashland since 1950, your hometown leader in insurance. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, thank you.
How long have you been a member of cheerleading?
This is my 2nd year.
2nd year, so you decided to wait until your junior year to become a member?
Yes, I didn't know I was interested in it until my junior year.
So what's your favorite cheer?
I would say it is gear up, get psyched, win this game tonight.
So what's your favorite thing about Friday night football?
I love seeing all the people out here, all the kids, the adults, everyone, every age comes out and just gets together to watch some football.
So speaking of any age, you guys have like 150 little kids out here tonight.
Yes, we do. They're all very, very excited. Their parents are here, excited to watch them, and they're very excited.
Who's over there in that costume? Airy or whatever? What's the name?
That's Airy the Arrow.
Who's in there this year?
We can't tell you.
Well played.
It's a secret.
Yeah, she's pretty clever, guys. So what other activities are you involved in?
I'm involved in a lot of stuff. I do digital media, all sorts of art, the yearbook, newspaper, and also a cappella choir.
Chris, she's going to take your job as a sideline reporter.
That's fine. What's your plans post-graduation?
I plan to go to college to major in art.
Okay, you look right there in that camera. Who's our biggest rival in the OCC?
Lexington.
Back to the Priest Dental broadcast booth.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Riley. Fantastic job down there by Miss Klein. Well done. Arrows, meanwhile, back on the defensive side. 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Quakers.
Quakers run a zone read, kind of reading with Colston Fox, the running back. Keaton Fossil ends up picking up 5 to set up a 2nd and 5.
I was surprised to see Miles Tyson with the start at running back, as on the depth chart it was Colston Fox, but this possession so far it's Colston Fox. Little jet sweep here. And nice job on the outside. Good tackle there by Michael Franz, getting some time on the defensive side. Take a look at this tackle.
This one actually does go to C.J. Carlisle. We talked about it on the last drive, showing that motion, but the defense
Yeah, you called it, Tony. They were going to set it up.
Oh, yeah.
Arrow's not fooled.
Pickup of 2, but yeah, defense played well. Play your zones, keep your eyes up. When you see the handoff, you have to fly to that C gap, D gap. A couple Arrows get out there give up 1 yard, not much there. Big 3rd down.
3rd down. Call it 3. Fossil in trouble. Gets away. Rolls to the outside. Here comes Gertel, and he's got to throw it away. Gertel absolutely lit him up. And great job by that Arrows defense to hold on 3rd down.
Yeah, Liam's going to get the highlight play, but there's 3 defenders, Hoffman, Gunnar Lacey, and Eisenhart all giving chase. You got Cooper Smith in there as well, and then Liam finally shoves it out of bounds. Just a pass thrown, intended for no one, really, for the Quakers. Going to go, we'll say it was intended for C.J. Carlisle just for the fun of it, because it has to go towards someone. But going to bring up the punting unit one more time. 1:01 to go in a scoreless game.
Quakers going to punt it away. It's booted. And back to grab it. Sauter will let it bounce. They'll call for fire, and they will down it at around the 38. Still no score, 51 seconds left in the first quarter. Tony, any surprises so far?
No, we talked about this on the field before the game started, that the first quarter is going to kind of be that, like, let's feel it out. Let's see what the offense brings. Let's see what the defense brings. Both teams get film on the other team, and you kind of make a game plan based off of what they've done in the previous 2 or 3 games. But any good coach, and Mike Johnson's doing this for the Quakers, and, of course, Coach Scott Valentine's doing this for Ashland, is you're bringing different wrinkles and you're bringing different fronts and you're showing different things. So you think that they may bring 3 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers, but they come with 4. So it's just kind of feeling it out, making sure you don't give up any big plays. Right now, both teams just kind of making their way, trying to find something, open up.
Bernie looking over the middle. There's a flag on that play. He was looking for Gabe Baith, and the Arrows might get a PI call on the Quakers.
Gabe Baith just running a post route, showing motion, and a fake handoff there to Michael Franz. Nice little wrinkle. And, yeah, going to be just a little bit early.
Just
Carter Watson, yeah. And it's probably the turn more than anything. If you kind of get your hands in there and just kind of slap it away, probably going to let it go. But once you see Gabe Baith's hips and shoulders kind of twist a little bit, going to get the 15-yard penalty.
Guys, the right arm was on the number of the chest, and he swung him around. That's a PI call all day, baby.
46 seconds remain in the first quarter. Arrows with an automatic first down at the Quakers 47. Fantastic night here.
Grayson Baith checking in here for the Ashland. First time we've seen him tonight.
Twins left, trips right. Bernie in a shotgun all by himself. 3 down linemen. They're showing pressure. Franz in motion. That's Baith. I'm sorry. Handoff Baith, and they sniff it out, and they absolutely light him up. Boy, the Quakers had that one scouted out.
Yeah, and some extra pressure coming. A fourth blitzing linebacker, going to be Miles Tyson coming off that edge there. He was going to bring pressure on Nathan Bernhard, but once he sees that quick handoff, not a lot of room going to show up on that zone blocking scheme. Grayson Baith just lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock rolls down here. Under 15, probably maybe one more play.
Arrows do not have to snap it if they don't want. There's a 1 second difference between the game and the play clock. 8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Second down and 10. They might try a hard count.
It's a great chance just to see what the defense comes out, and if you like the matchup, you throw it.
And a catch by Gabe Baith! Arrows with a big pickup to close out the first quarter. Bernie to Baith.
Yeah, once you see one-on-one on your leading receiver, Gabe Baith out there, number 8, Nathan Bernhard says, I'm going to trust him, chucks it up there. Gabe Baith's going to climb the ladder, go up high, over the hands of Miles Tyson for the first down at the end of the first quarter.
Guys, that football that was delivered by Bernhard was absolutely Peyton Manning-esque.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian option salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
We wish you well and thank you for a job well done. Let's have a massive round of applause for Mr. Dan Heath.
The Arrows on the move here to start the second quarter after that big completion from Bernie to Baith. Welcome in to Arrows football on the Ashland Arrows Broadcast Network, presented by Sarver Paving. This game brought to you by Headstrom Entertainment, bringing you unplugged fun for more than 100 years. The Arrows trying to plug it into the end zone. They are inside the Ashland Eye Care red zone. Bernie back to pass. He's got Gabe Baith on a little screen. Caught at the 21, 15, 10, inside the 5, and steps out of bounds. It'll be first and goal.
Why not go back to the junior Gabe Baith? This time gets a nice little block there by Tyler Salter. Then it's a foot race. Gabe Baith crosses the 10, gets all the way down to the 6-yard line. Going to mark him on a 15-yard catch and run. Now Ashland inside the 10.
Killian O'Brien with a decent block out there as well. First and goal. They'll actually mark it back at the 6. Just underway here in the second quarter. No score. Bernie in a shotgun. Trips bunch to the right. And that might be a false start.
As long as he resets, it's all right.
Okay.
It's motion.
Thank you. That's why you're the analyst and I'm the play-by-play guy. And the Arrows are going to have to burn a timeout on the second play of the second quarter. We'll take a quick break and be right back after this.
Arrow, timeout.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
Back here at Community Stadium, just underway in the second quarter. First and goal. Tony, what happened there?
I think Ashland offense just wasn't on the same page, and when you're sitting on the 6-yard line, you don't want to take that 5-yard false start. So good time out there for Scott Valentine.
Trips right. Twins left. Bernie, all kinds of time over the middle. Got a man and overshoots Gabe Baith in the back of the end zone. Just fired it a little too long, but good coverage.
Yeah, good coverage. Not seeing anything. I would have liked to see Nathan almost just tuck it and run there. Just a 3-man rush with plenty of time. He probably could have continued to sit back there, but just fires one out of the end zone. No shot there for Gabe to bring it down, but still, first and goal turns into second goal a lot better than taking a sack or a tackle for a loss. So keeping yourself close to the end zone more important than going for broke.
Our man Garth Boyd going down to check on our field camera. Keeper Bernie, and they blew that one up right away. Boy, there was no doubt they saw that one coming, Tony.
Yeah, and that's the same play that Nathan scored on 3 or 4 times already this season, letting Grayson come in motion. All of a sudden he sees that defensive end come down, so he's got to pull it, but he doesn't realize that both outside linebackers are coming. Brody Gillard going to get him for the tackle for a loss of 3.
Clearly, Coach Mike Johnson and company saw that one on tape and had that one kind of sniffed out.
Yeah, there are times that you just have to drop 7 and try to stop Nathan by covering well and get a little bit of pressure, and there's other times that you have to kind of speed up his internal clock. First down, they drop back. Next time, they rush. This time, drop him back one more time.
Third and goal, Bernie in trouble. Little shovel pass caught by Grayson at the 5, and he rumbles forward and spins out of bounds just inside the 5. Nice job just to get something out of that.
Yeah, Nathan extending this as long as possible, and finally, before going down, just shovel passes it 15 yards on a pass. Grayson fights for another 2 to get down to the 4-yard line, but gets swung out of bounds. It's going to be 4th and 4. Going to bring Carson O'Brien in for a field goal attempt.
Connery manufacturing field goal attempt coming from the left hash by Carson O'Brien. They'll mark it at the 12. It'll be a 22-yarder. The wind has died down almost completely, so just kind of a chip shot, if you will, from that left hash. Almost an extra point. Snaps good, holds good. And the kick is away, and it's good. The Arrows are on the board first. 3-0 Arrows. Back after this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated, historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
Carson O'Brien to kick off for the Arrows. Back deep to return for the Quakers. Number 32.
Arrows off the 22-yard field goal by Carson O'Brien. Up 3-0.
Yeah,
low-scoring affair, Tony.
Good to get points off the drive. Yeah, you'd love to see the touchdown and get the full 7 points, but more important, get that scoreboard moving in your direction. Good, solid kick. Carson O'Brien, 15 of 18 on extra points already this season. Almost the exact same kick. Carson now 1 of 1 on field goals.
Michael Franz with a heck of a special teams play here on the kickoff. Great job by Franz bringing down the returner, Carson Long.
Yeah, not an easy thing to do to tackle good athletes in space, but when you run your lanes, not chasing too much, all 11 guys taking up space, and all of a sudden you break down, watch the hips. Michael Franz, good job getting some jersey, getting his ankles and bringing them down. Quakers are going to take over on the 19-yard line. Keaton Fossil coming back in, 4 of 6 in that first quarter, 67% passing for 39 yards. Keaton just 1 interception on the season, but prone to extend plays and maybe throw up some would-be questionable decision, but so far playing pretty well, number 11 for the Quakers.
Tyson on the run up the middle, maybe back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe falls forward for a half a yard. 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Coach Stackhouse's defense looking good so far, Chris.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. You might admit that there might not have seen it, but we just about punched that football away on that run there. They got a yard for the Quakers, and the defense here for the Arrows going after the strip on these run plays by the Quakers.
Yeah, Colston Fox, maybe got relegated a little bit because 39 carries through the first 3 games, but 2 fumbles that have been lost. Miles Tyson obviously looking like running back number 1 here tonight for New Philly.
And a shotgun, second down and 9. Fossil looking near side. Got a man, caught at the 25 and knocked down to the 26. Looked like Tyler Holt and Josh Ngani on the coverage.
Tony, you saw it there on that tackle, too, with Tyler Holt and Josh Ngani coming in with fists clenched and trying to punch at that football.
Yeah, especially once he's already wrapped up, a gain of 6, but once your teammates already got him wrapped up, this is an opportunity to kind of punch at it, rip at it, not doing anything dirty or illegal, but you can cause a turnover, especially on your own side of the football field. Definitely a bonus.
Third down and 4 at the 26. Arrows defense looking for another stop. Under 9 minutes to go in a second. It's a keeper by Fossil. Tyler Holt has him right away. And Lacey comes in, and so do all the other Arrows. Brought down, and that'll stop him. What a great job by Stacks D.
Yeah, that's all Tyler Holt taking on the running back who's supposed to block him outside and take care of him, but Colston Fox just kind of whiffs on that block. Holt holds him up enough for the rest of the guys to come clean it up. Going to be a gain of 1, but not going to be enough for Mike Johnson and his coaching staff to be confident to go for it. Out comes the punting unit for the Quakers.
Brody Gillen will boot it away. Sauter just into Arrows territory. 8 minutes and change to go in a second quarter in the Ward Realty first half.
It's like Brandon Briggs got held there, too.
Not a great punt. Goes out of bounds in Arrow territory, but they'll have good field position. So the Arrows will get another shot at it with a little more momentum offensively. They got 3 on the board, and sometimes, Tony, it's just important to strike first and be the one that gets on the board right away.
Yeah, and to not be too anxious. Not every offensive drive is going to result in points. Not every offensive drive is going to be the best one. It's going to be that sustained drive. So you have to remain confident and calm even when things just aren't kind of opening up early on in the game. 4 rushing attempts right now, all that they've attempted here tonight for the Arrows for -2 yards. Passing the ball, Nathan Bernhard right now, 6 of 9 for 86 yards. Connected a couple times with Gabe Baith and once for Dakota to kind of open things up. And I think that is where that mid-range to deep range is where there is going to be space. Number 10 is going to have to continue just to trust his arm and put something downfield.
Bernhardt back to pass, strips right, good coverage. He's going to tuck it and run, and wisely gets past the 45 and out to the 47. 3-yard pickup for Nathan Bernhardt on the run. Great coverage as they drop back.
Yeah, and his receivers have done a great job through the first 3 games of when nothing's there, kind of that scramble drill of a couple guys have to come back to your quarterback, a couple guys have to go long. Their 5 receivers just kind of froze on their curl routes. They ran 5 yards, turned around. They felt that they were covered. They knew that they were covered. And instead of going immediately into that get open, find space, everyone kind of froze. Nathan saw that, tucked it, and got what he could get, got 3 yards to make the second 7.
Bernie looking, pressure off the edge, throws it over the middle. What a bullet into Quaker territory. Caught for a first down, Tyler Sauter. It's a pickup of 13, chains moving.
A nice deep in route there for Tyler Sauter, going to go for 15. getting all the way across that field and all of a sudden throwing it nice and low. Only Tyler Sauter's going to have a chance to get that. Tyler almost a baseball slide, going feet first to get his elbows down on the ground, making sure the referees don't have to make an assessment of whether or not he caught it. Nice clean catch at the 40-yard line. BB&C first down for Ashland.
7 minutes to go in the first half. The Arrows on the move. Bernie pressure. Looking downfield. He's going to launch it downfield for Crudy. Oh! Dropped at the 10. It would have been a touchdown.
Nice chip block here by Michael Franz, number 13, picking up that linebacker. And Nathan gets to roll out. Had a couple of guys downfield. Tyler Sauter on a little bit short of a route, and Crudy on that corner route had number 9, CJ Carlisle.
Toast.
Burnt. Just unable to bring it in. Going to be an incompletion for Crudy. But again, the opportunities are there. The guys are getting
harsh.
open.
I will say Carlisle did a good job at the last second of a bit of a recovery and at least got his hand in the way and maybe distracted the eyesight right there. Bernhardt in the shotgun with a great throw right there. Trips right, twins left, back to pass. Looking over the middle, looking downfield. Cullion O'Brien caught inside the Ashland Eye Care red zone.
This one going to go for 22 yards. Killian O'Brien's first target and first completion. Just a nice post route, and you see one-on-one coverage, and he's got inside position. Nathan Bernhardt's beginning to trust the sophomore more and more. Nice hands catch, keeping it away from his helmet and his shoulder pads, keeping it away from that defender. He doesn't have to get any yards after catch, but the most important thing is just to catch it and bring it in, and Killian O'Brien does that, bringing Ashland back inside the red zone.
KOB with a 74-yard touchdown last week. O'Brien. Now we got Bernie to the corner, and Franz can't stay in bounds. Look at that replay. We're going to take a look at it and see. There's no instant replay in high school, but we got it thanks to Sarver Paving.
I think this is a beautiful throw and an even better catch and toe drag. Oh,
I don't know,
man.
guys. I think he was out.
Oh.
That's twice on this drive. That's a school teacher in you, man.
No, I think he was out, guys. I think he was out. Great. I mean, just very close. But the Arrows now will have second down and 10 at the 17 inside the Ashland Eye Care red zone for all your eye care needs here in Ashland County and wherever you are. Come over and see Dr. Denbo, proud Arrow alum. He'll give you whatever you need over there.
The most exciting part about that play is that second time on this drive, that corner route's been open. And, of course, we can see the arm strength and the accuracy of number 10, Nathan Bernhardt, able to lay it out there. Going to continue to go back to this now. Nathan's got plenty of time. Dart one's out there to Gabe Baith, who's going to get the completion. Gain of 8 or 9.
Just short of the first down, but it'll be third down and a yard. Bernie did a nice job of stepping up in the pocket, getting out to the right, and just threw a bullet out there to Baith. Nice hands by Gabe.
Yeah, Gabe Baith and Killian O'Brien kind of sitting in that same zone area. I don't know if they kind of floated to that space. Going to have to work on that route combination, tomorrow after hopefully an Arrow win. But good job there by Gabe Baith. Leading the team right now, he came in with 20 catches and 2 touchdowns, already added 3 more catches here tonight. Gabe Baith doing an excellent job here for Ashland.
Bernie pressure off the edge, throws it into the corner of the end zone. Franz has it. Touchdown. Yes, sir.
Finally, the corner route strikes the third time. They're going to a corner route, this time from the slot position. It's going to be Michael Franz setting up a quick post, run into that corner pylon. A hard catch. That's a hard catch, Chris, to turn your body and not catch it over your shoulder, but actually turn your hips and go up high. But Michael Franz showing off that athletic ability for the comfort control touchdown.
Well, it doesn't matter what sport it is. You play to your strengths. And right now, these offensive weapons that we have, whether it's a running back or 5 wide, that's the strength of our squad with a 4-star quarterback, and just keep taking advantage of your strengths.
Connery Manufacturing extra point by Carson O'Brien up and good. 10-0 Arrows. Back with more after this.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com. Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu.
something for everyone in a completely renovated historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
10-0 Arrows. 5:42 to go in the second quarter on the Ashland Arrows Broadcast Network and simulcast over on iHeartRadio. Down to Chris.
Thanks, guys. Here with Vivian Walter, a name that everybody in the community knows. Walter, that's JW's daughter, a senior here at Ashland High School. And this is brought to us by our friends, the Aber family and Valley Transportation. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I look forward to football games all week. So
4 weeks, 4 Arrow Nation. Are you the brains behind this operation?
Yes, I would say so. Well, it's like a team effort, but the girls carry, I think.
So it was on, or Krish was on, and then Alex, but you two are much than those two.
Yeah, for sure. I would say so. We pay attention to details.
So let's get the. What's next week going to be? Are you guys going to stay involved, or do you guys think about that as we go forward?
What do you mean by stay involved? Sorry.
Next week. What's the theme for next week?
Oh, I don't remember the theme for next week.
Come on,
Sorry, I put you right on the spot.
Sorry.
So what's the theme this week?
It's neon this week.
So not only neon, but you got
tonight.
Are you a hunter?
Yes, I am. This is actually a hunter vest I got on.
Are you physically?
No, I am not a hunter.
So what activities are you involved in here at high school?
I'm on the volleyball team, I'm on the track team, and I'm in the musical every year.
Plans post-graduation?
I think I'm going to major something in the medical field, and I want to run track somewhere. I'm just not sure where yet. Somewhere in Ohio.
Medical field because of the cash?
Yes, for sure, because of the cash.
Is that what really is driving the decision?
Oh.
Yes, for sure. I mean, I like athletics and like medical things like that, but...
She wants the bacon, boys.
Straight
the
cash.
Bacon, straight cash, homie.
Oh, boy.
I do.
Who's the biggest rival in the OCC?
Lexington.
Why?
I don't know. The tension every year.
So can you cut that tension with a knife, or is it too thick?
It's too thick.
Back to the pre-sale booth.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks to Valley Transportation for the aluminum and steel hauling industry needs. Contact Valley Transportation. Chris, we're sorry we're having some camera issues down there with some wireless issues, but we did get to hear all of it with Vivian. Fantastic young lady.
Yeah, she's fantastic, and you can actually ask the assistant principal at the high school who the biggest rival is. I think he would, well, maybe in his playing days he would agree. He can't do that physically right now, but Lexington, obviously, guys, they don't like us, we don't like them, it appears.
We'll try to get a score update on them after the half. Lexington 0-3, taking on Akron North, I believe.
New Philly came out to run their first play, just some confusion on their setup, so they took a timeout, going to be their first timeout of the half.
Back to pass, Fossil looking over the middle. He's got a man caught at the 20. A nice job by Tyler Sauter of knocking him down right there at maybe the 21, so pickup of 6.
This going to Jackson Norris, kind of using the tight end position, which you don't see a whole lot in the OCC or even in college football that much. But New Philly kind of likes running that offensive power unit, but obviously confident to throw it to their tight end as well. Jackson Norris with a gain of 5, going to set up the second 5.
Well, Tony, maybe senior high should put the tight end pass in their offense. They're getting beat 7-0 down in Millersburg by the Knights.
Quick pass over to the near side, and I think it's going to be just short of the first down on that pickup over to Vincent Magoni.
Vincent Magoni getting a catch, his first of the season.
3rd down and 1 coming up. Under 5 minutes to go. Did you say, where's Lex at?
Lex is at Akron North.
They're playing at Akron North, right? Yeah.
They're up 14-0. That game's at Lexington. And then here's the surprise. Tony, you called this one on the head. Worcester traveled to Madison, and they're up 14-0 on the Generals.
Big 3rd down. They're going to pass. Fossil over to the left side. A missed tackle by Franz and all kinds of room for Carlisle. He's going down the other side. He's going to go all the way. That's going to be a 75-yard touchdown off the missed tackle on the far side. Take a look at this replay, guys.
Nothing very fancy, just a quick pass out to C.J. Carlisle, and all of a sudden he's flying down the sideline. Some bad pursuit angles there for the Ashland defense. You got to take an angle, knowing how tired you are, how fast you are, and how fast that other guy is. If you have to give up 5 or 10 yards by taking a more steep angle to the end zone, you got to do it. But I think Ashland defense kind of really trying to get that 3rd down and 1 stop, and all of a sudden now the extra points coming for the Quakers. 4:41 to go, but now Quakers on the board with an extra point forthcoming.
Extra point forthcoming, trying to make it 10-7. Good hold on a little bit of a wonky snap, and the kick is up and good. And it's 10-7, boys, 4:41. We had just talked about the Arrows going up 2 scores, maybe getting a stop and trying to extend the lead, but kind of the opposite happens.
Yeah, it kind of works both ways, right? You know, when you're under 5 minutes, you're kind of thinking, you know, both teams are going to have maybe one more possession. How do you run a 4-minute offense? Quakers had an opportunity, though, just to have a quick striking drive there. No first downs, but a 75-yard touchdown, good enough for Mike Johnson and company. Now just a 1-score game.
Guys, I want you to keep in mind, sorry, Brandon, one thing. Carter Watson, the defensive back cornerback for New Philly, he was guarding KOB on the one drive there where Killian got the first catch. His head is in the backfield every single snap. That play, a stop and go or something, is going to be there to spring Killian loose for a touchdown a bit later in the game.
Tyler Salter and Michael Franz will go back as returners on this kickoff.
Arrows could use a good return. 4:41 to go in the first half. Sauter and Franz deep, like you said. O'Brien and Crudy, the up men. And here comes the boot. Short. Franz will grab it at the 13, to the 20. Trying to cut it outside. Now back inside. Good coverage to the 25. And a host of Quakers bring Franz down at the 28. Maybe a congregation of Quakers. How's that?
Bada bing.
That'll work, yeah. My mind went to hostess and Quakers as well. When you said host, so.
All right. Well, meanwhile, let's take a look at Nathan Bernhardt on the season. Boy, guys, he's just been fantastic. You know, we know he's getting looks from a lot of D1 places. We know that he has the opportunity to go just about anywhere he wants. 9 touchdowns, just 1 interception.
Yeah, getting the ball out in time, only 2 sacks. That continues here through this first game, adding another touchdown here tonight. Right now, Nathan Bernhardt just leading this team very masterfully.
Got O'Brien and knocked down. Great defensive play by C.J. Carlisle. Knocks it down at the last second.
Yeah, C.J. kind of running stride for stride there with number 2, KOB. Nathan just kind of lays one out there. And it looked like CJ was going to have an opportunity to maybe knock it away, just maybe over the fingertips, maybe CJ just enough of a distraction, but Killian kind of frustrated with himself that he didn't bring that in. That would have been a big 30-yard pickup. Going to be 2nd and 10 now for your Arrows.
Don't forget to stay tuned for the halftime show presented by Bill Harris Auto Dealerships. Right here in Ashland and down in Loudonville as well. You'll hear the marching band. They're undefeated. Grayson Baith comes back. Handoff, Baith up the middle, spins, still spinning on his feet, out to about the 32. And they'll call it dead right there. 4-yard pickup. 3rd down and 6 coming up.
We saw this last year that the outside linebackers of the teams that were playing on defense just get a free go. You can see it right now. Miles Tyson, as soon as that slot receiver comes in motion, he gets an automatic blitz call, something that the coaching staff obviously is going to pick up. Vincent Magoni is going to bring him down, and Brody Gillard on that play. Good job by Baith, just picking up a couple of yards. But, once you start bringing extra guys to stop that running attack, not a lot of running room there for number 33.
3rd down and 6.5. Pressure off the edge. Bernie's in trouble, and he's going down. And he gets lit up in the backfield back near the 28. That's a loss of 4. And pressure coming off the edge, guys, and he had no chance.
Yeah, once you get beat on the outside, that's going to be August Roush just not able to pick up the blitzer at left tackle, kind of subbing in for some of those two-way players that are getting a little bit tired here late in the second quarter. But, yeah, too much pressure on the blind side there for Nathan Bernhardt. Kind of a lumbering sack. It'll go down as a sack against him, but going to bring out the punting unit now with 3 minutes to go. Now you're really asking your defense to step up and preserve this lead before halftime.
Crudy needs a good one. Gets it away. It's low, spiraling punt. Fair catch called for at the 37.
Good punt.
And not a bad job at all right there. 31-yard punt for Crudy. And that's where the Quakers will take over with an opportunity to tie or take the lead going into the half. 3 minutes to go. 2 timeouts remaining per team. The Arrows did defer, so they will get the ball back to start the second half.
Yeah, Keaton Fossil, though, right now for the Quakers, just being very effective and efficient as the passer. 8 of 10 right now in this first half, 1 touchdown. Not a lot of yards to speak of, but it's his consistency. It's finding completions, his ability just to continue to extend plays. Not a lot of rushing yards right now for the Quakers, just 20 yards on 12 attempts. The defense has played well, minus the last big play where Fossil hit C.J. Carlisle for the touchdown.
Low snap, keeper. Over to the left side, trouble. Sauter trying to wrap him up. Fossil still on his feet and falls maybe just shy of the first down. They might give it to him. We'll see if they move. They're going to move the chains. 10-yard pickup on the keeper.
Yeah, just an awkward play. The snap goes to Fossil's feet. The timing's completely off. Fossil just picks it up and gets what he can get. Sauter just lucky to get him down. Not a great form tackle. Going to get the solo tackle, but after he gets the BB&C first down for the Quakers.
Single to the far side, trips to the near side, single back next to Fossil. Hoffman showing blitz off the edge, now drops back. It's a keeper left side. It's Fossil left, Fossil right so far here on this drive. And a short pickup. They get into Arrows territory at the 49, gain of 4, and moving the chains.
Gunnar Lacey.
Not moving the chains, I'm sorry, just moving the ball.
Yeah, Gunnar Lacey, Tyler Holt, both involved in that. Not a whole lot to speak of, but now with 2 minutes to go, Mike Johnson, head coach of the New Philly Quakers, is going to have to start thinking about putting the ball up in the air, really starting to push us down the field because he's going to run out of time.
2 minutes to go. No 2-minute warning or 2-minute timeout at the high school level yet. Fossil back to pass. It's a keeper again. Uh-oh, trouble. Left side, he cuts it outside. Still on his feet. Tyler Holt trying to track him down and forces him out of bounds, but not until he gets a big pickup of 15 down to the 33, maybe 16 yards on the run, and Fossil looking good.
Yeah, just very elusive, dancing around, making moves and taking yardage while he's doing it. Tyler Holt going to shove him out of bounds, but now inside the 35-yard line, saving a little bit of time, saving a timeout. Fossil stepping out of bounds, now ball at the 33.
Arrows defense on their heels right now. 1:45 to go in the first half. 1st and 10 at the 33. Fossil in a shotgun, trips right, single to the left. Pressure. Uh-oh, long, there's flags. That's going to be a hole or late hit, I think, on the Arrows. Maybe unnecessary roughness. Meanwhile, big pickup, though, also down to the 22, so a gain of 11 to long. And, yeah, kind of maybe went a little high on that hit.
I don't know what they're going to call it. The Quakers are actually marching back.
15 yards on the Quakers.
Oh.
It was shot block, I believe.
Okay, I stand corrected. I thought they were calling a late hit or going high towards the helmet, but the Arrows, thankfully, are pushing the Quakers back on the chop block back to the 43-yard line, so a loss of 10.
Quakers came back to that little quick screen, trying to get some offensive linemen out, and the best way usually to make a passing lane is to chop the legs of the defensive end so he can't come up, but you can't do that when he's engaged. Referee seeing that from behind throws the flag. Going to back up the Quakers now at 1st and 20 and redo first down.
Left side.
Same play, other side.
And Long almost put it on the ground, gets down to the 39, picked up of just about 4 yards, maybe 5, and a timeout called, I believe, by New Philly. No, I'm just kidding. He's just out on the field. So Coach Johnson way out on the field. 1:15 to go and counting. 2nd down and long coming up.
Yeah, I think Coach Johnson liked the way the play developed. Obviously, on that penalty, why not just try it again, just going to the other side. This time, though, Ashland a little bit more ready for it. Quakers coming out, 3 guys to the field side.
Back to pass. Fossil looking. Pressure up the middle. They're going to get him. Hoffman and Lacey. Yes, sir.
Finally getting home is the Ashland defense against Keaton Fossil. The 3-man front also with 3 blitzing linebackers meet at the quarterback. Hoffman the first one there. Gunnar Lacey going to clean him up. Clock continues to run. I think at this point the Quakers probably just going to be content to go to halftime.
Arrows have 2 timeouts, and they're not going to use them either, are they?
No.
Loss of 7 for Fossil on the sack.
Both teams going to play this conservatively and say, okay, 10-7. We'll see. Fossil in the shotgun, 3rd down and 24. Single left, trips right. This might be a draw, Tony. Nope, just kidding. Fossil's going to launch it. Nope, he's going to tuck it. Nope, he's going to throw it near side. Almost intercepted by Hoffman. Oh, they had to turn into a defensive back out on the outside.
Yeah, an ill-advised throw there by Keaton Fossil with only 9 seconds left on the clock, intended for Aiden Matthews, but better coverage by Hoffman once again. Hoffman already with 2 interceptions on the season, almost came down with number 3. And if he came down with that, Chris, he was going to score.
Yeah, he would have beat me down the sidelines in the touchdown area, and he certainly would have scored. But, you know, guys, the first half to me is all about the Arrows on defense. They got to tackle, right? We've talked about this. We're really good at tackling tonight, not our best performance, but this is a different game if we're starting to tackle these Quakers.
Arrows bring pressure on the punt, and it's coming at you, Mowry. Uh-oh, let's check out the hands, Mowry. Oh, not bad, young man.
That's one-handed, son.
Mowry. Yes, look at this. We'll see the replay even. I love it. That punt to the near side. There's 3 seconds left on the clock. Boy, I wish we could do the telestrator right here and zoom in.
You'll notice the eyes never left the football.
10 out of 10.
That is exactly how you feel the ground ball, too, just so you know.
Yeah, you caught that in-between hop. You stayed back.
Yeah, low knees, get them back bent. I'm ready to go again.
You'd have threw it over the first baseman's
I might
head.
have. That was the first thing I ever did.
3 seconds to go in the first half. Arrows up 10-7. Make sure you stay tuned. Chris Mowry of the great hands down there will catch up with Coach Valentine here as they head to the locker room. Arrow's just going to down it and be happy to go in. Up 10-7. Quite a half, Tony. And Chris is going to grab Coach V here, I think, just in a second, courtesy of our friends at Spring Smith.
Well, I don't think anybody's surprised that we're in a dogfight with New Philly. We kind of forecasted this. What's it going to take to get this scoreboard more in our favor here in the second half?
Well, I think we had some opportunities for some big plays that we just missed on. So we got to execute a little better on offensively. And then defensively, we're doing a good job except for the one big play.
It seems like those cornerbacks are looking in the backfield first to see if it's going to be a run or a Bernhard run, and their heads are way in the backfield. I know you took a shot there with Killian, come up a little short, but it looks like that play might be there later in the second half.
Yeah, and we're looking for some play action stuff to get them biting up.
So good luck the second half.
Thanks.
Halftime here at Community Stadium. Arrows up 10-7. Thanks to Coach V for joining us. Stay tuned for the Bill Harris halftime show. We will give you the New Philly band and the Arrows band because I tell you what, New Philly band is also fantastic, Tony. We'll talk about football after the band performances and get back in a few minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Marching Quaker Band from New Philadelphia High School is on the field, and they're prepared to show you the first 4 parts of their competitive show this year. The show is entitled Pantheon. It starts with Mercury, goes into Mars, then Venus, and then a little bit of Jupiter, all by Gustav Holst. So please sit back and enjoy the first sketch of our competitive show. This is Pantheon. Please welcome the Marching Quaker Band.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the pride of the Arrows, the 2024 Ashland High School Marching Band and Sweeties Dance Team. Leading the band tonight is Field Commander Pixie McClurg with Assistant Field Commanders Eric Zhang and Addie Bonfiglio. Tonight, the Marching Arrows pay tribute to 3 rock and roll piano players, Billy Joel, KC and the Sunshine Band, and Elton John. Our very own piano man, Senior Eric Zhang, takes over the keys as we open tonight's show with Billy Joel's hit, My Life and Only the Good Die Young. To round out tonight's Piano Man show, Eric heads back to the keys as the Marching Arrows perform Elton John's hit from 1983, I'm Still Standing. The Ashland High School Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the Ashland High School Marching Band and Sweetie's Dance Team. The Ashland High School Marching Band is under the direction of Marty Kroll, with assistant directors Cameron Dietrich and Tanya Kroll.
No.
Percussion instructor is Adam Heim, and music supervisor is John McQuaid. Sweetie advisors are Melissa Merkel and Zoe Jenkins. This is Michael Zickafoos, the voice of the Ashland Arrow Marching Band.
You ready?
Yeah. Wow. Sure.
Welcome back to Community Stadium as we're about to send it down to Chris with Steve Paramore as they kind of turn and give their attention to the camera on top of the press box that will be taking a shot of them here. Gentlemen, there you are, right there. We got you guys. Sidelines with Steve, brought to you by Janny.
I think we're going to need some more permanent improvement dollars. We're going to fix that camera.
What's wrong with it?
I don't know. I mean, it's being temperamental. How about that?
Who's shooting us up there?
It's BW up there. Ian Johnson, I think.
No, Ian Owens.
Ian Owens. He's a fantastic cast member there. He's taking your job here at home.
All right.
So Ashland County Fair. It wouldn't be Ashland, Ohio if we didn't talk about the fair and Sidelines with Steve to kick it off.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl next week for a lot of our kids. No, we have a lot of kids that work hard all year long to get ready for 4-H projects, showing animals, spending time with their animals out there, hopefully selling them and getting a chance for, hopefully they, make some money and make some profit. And it's obviously gives them experience on what it's like to have a bit of a small business almost. But, family support, local business support, Ashland County fair support, it's great for our kids.
What's Project Pavis?
Okay, so it is Project Pavis. And so Pavis is an ancient Greek and medieval shield. And so based off of our time with Jesse Weinberger last year in our digital safety talks with our 4th through 12th graders, we just didn't want to sit idle anymore and watch kids sabotage themselves through their their gaming devices, their personal devices, their Chromebooks, and obviously we're a one-to-one district, so there's a lot of things that they can get into, and we're not always guaranteed of parents knowing what they're getting into. So this project, with the gracious help of the Samaritan Foundation, Ashland County Community Foundation, and the Ashland City Schools Foundation, collaborating with the financial funding through donors, we're doing journals as well as goodie bags, and what we're trying to do is change the algorithm. You and I both know that if we search golf on our Instagram, the next thing that's going to pop up is the next golf trip we're supposed to take, right? So now
I already booked that one.
Yeah, so kids, when they're checking their Instagram feed or they're on their Chromebook, that's the same type of thing pops up. So we want parents to have conversations with their kids about, hey, what are you on as far as your digital device? What kind of things are you talking about when you're gaming? So this project starts on September 30th. Mansfield entered John T. Van, and I mean, their brilliance is shown through. And so they met with Taft teachers and staff the last 2 nights at Bella 220 and kind of laid it out for them. So we're going to start with our 4th and 5th graders, work into our 6th graders, and that's where we're going to start our preventative measures for digital responsibility.
And then last question, we got about 30 seconds. Substitutes within ACS, support staff. I know that's something you want to talk about a little bit.
Yeah, the opportunity is always there. Even if you're that college student at Ashland University that's got a couple days to give of their time, we not only pay $110 a day for substitutes for teachers. If you have high school degree, that's a background check, but we're obviously always looking for substitutes in the classified realm as well, and those pay a differently hourly rate. But what we implemented this year is a $400 stipend for every 40 days you sub. So ultimately, if you do 120 days, you're looking at quite a healthy stipend along with $110 a day. So
quick math says you got to do a lot for about half the school year, right? A substitute.
Absolutely, but I can guarantee you I can get a sub a day to substitute teach every day.
Back to the Priest Dental broadcast booth. Up to you guys.
Well, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Steve, the fantastic superintendent here in the Ashland City Schools, Brandon Wells, Chris Mowry, Tony Van Dyne, and Brandon Gunder, Garth Boyd. I almost said Garth Brooks. That's just like by default. I want to say it when it comes out. And Ian Owens, our fantastic camera operator as well. Happy to be bringing you Arrows football here, presented on the Arrow Broadcast Network by Sarver Paving. Onside kick and a flag, and I think we might have an offsides right away. And they tried to catch the Arrows sleeping. Take a look at it, Tone.
Yeah, and I think they caught him. Hayden DiPuccio, even after seeing that ball kind of squirt, not really being aggressive, just kind of being intimidated by the wall of Quakers, going to get a procedure penalty by the Quakers, going to back them up 5 more yards. But Mike Johnson trying to steal a quick turnover there, probably could have gotten it, but going to back them up 5 yards and do it one more time and give this Ashland special teams unit an opportunity to say, hey guys, wake up. It's the 3rd quarter. It's time to go. The ball is live. Once the foot hits the ball, got to be ready to go here, boys.
I'm going to go on a limb and say they might have saw that against Lindsley last week and
think you're
said,
right.
Let's go ahead and try that ourselves.
Cade Jones probably going to boot this one a little deeper than that.
I'd think about trying it again.
Why not? Nah. Jones coming up, and he'll boot it away, kind of short, though, and it's going to bounce around the 23. Franz, great hands at the 20, 30.
Oh, no.
Penalty.
And knocked out of bounds past the 45, but a flag at the 33. Sarver Paving replay.
Just a quick one-hopper. We'd love to see Michael actually catch that in the air, but the speedster just blows by one Quaker and gets all the way up to the 48-yard line as he runs past a holding penalty, probably.
I think I saw maybe a block in the back.
Yeah, that's what it was, guys.
Right around the 35. That the official was out near the 45, and that was all his arm could throw the flag. So, 11:55. Just
a little bit of a dig on the official there.
What? I don't know what you're talking
you
about.
weren't going to do this anymore.
First down at 10. It'll be for the Arrows. They'll push it back. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So it is a flag on the Arrows.
Dan Chandler said it's holding. So
I heard him.
I'm not saying a word, but either way, the Arrows will be pushed back off of what was a fantastic return. Still decent field position. Bernie in the first half. Tony, what'd you think?
Not too bad. 11 of 17, one touchdown, threw for 143 yards, and looked comfortable back there when he had the time. And for the most part, the offensive line did a good job of keeping him upright. Had some nice deep shots. Couldn't really bring in anything big hitting, but I think he's going to continue just to sling it. Ashland offense really struggling, though, rushing the ball, 7 rushing attempts, -4 yards. Once they see that jet motion, here we come one more time. The Quakers are bringing pressure.
Pressure off the edge. Sauter with a nice chip block. Bernie off, launch it deep for Crudy. He's got it and drops it at the 22. Oh! Fantastic throw. Crudy couldn't hold on.
Tyler Sauter picking up the blitzing outside linebacker on that motion. Nathan trusting Crudy. Takes a deep shot once again on C.J. Carlisle, and it looked like Crudy had it in his hands, and maybe the contact with the ground just kind of jarred it loose. Crudy trying to grab that thing in as it bounces off of his hands, but unable to bring it in. And an injury, looks like we got number 3, Brody Gillard, the senior tight end / defensive end down right now for the Quakers. Up quickly.
So Brody Gillen down, and now he's up. It looks like he's going to be okay. Courtney Turner out there quickly also to assist from UH Samaritan.
You got it right.
Hashtag Jerry Sider. Thank you, sir. I will never forget now. At least once a season I mess it up. 10 seconds in to the second half, brought to you by Ward Realty. Here the Arrows on top 10-7.
Sorry, I'm going to break the seal, too. You haven't said Eagles during an Arrows game for a while.
Geez. You jinxed it. Thank you very much. How about I just do one on purpose? Bernie back in the shotgun. Trips right, twins left. Back to pass. 3-man rush. He's going to step up and run. He's got some room, guys. Out to the right side. Trying to cut it outside and tripped up at the 35. Nice tackle on the outside right there, guys, by Miles Tyson.
Another big looping defensive stunt there by the Quakers, trying to get that offensive line to give up another sack, but Nathan Bernhard kind of steps up very nicely, gets to the outside, but can't get around the corner before getting pulled down by a Quaker. Going to get a gain of 2 or 3. We'll give him a gain of 2. Going to still set up 3rd and long here on the opening drive of this third quarter.
Boy, Bernie had some room out in front of him, and nice job by Tyson to trip him up. Approaching the 11-minute mark here in the third quarter. Big third down for the Arrows. High snap. Bernie pulls it in. Looking downfield, pressure. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going down. And he is brought down hard by Boston Kroll. And that's a sack back at the 29. It's a loss of 4, and the Arrows will have to punt it away. Not an ideal start to the second half.
Well, and Boston just breaks a double team. Both the right tackle and right guard had the responsibility to block him, and he's a big man. He's not hard to miss. 6'5", 275, and he just splits that double team before catching the quarterback and throwing him to the ground. Not a great start here for the Ashland offense.
Crudy standing at his own 16. Carson Long back inside his own 40. Crudy, low, wobbly punt. Long's going to let it bounce. Takes an Arrows bounce inside the 40 and out at the 39. 26-yard punt for the Arrows, and a decent field position here to start. Defensively, what do you guys expect to see from Stack's squad here in the second half?
For the most part, the defense played pretty well. Just gave up the one big play, the 75-yard touchdown play. But if you take that away, only gave up about 50 yards passing and 42 on the ground. So they've done a great job of keeping things contained. But you could see in that second quarter, as it wore on, that the defense was just getting tired and wearing down and missing tackles. And when you do that against a good team, they're going to start to pay for it. So hopefully the halftime gave this crew an opportunity to get some fluids, get some rest, watch a little bit of film. You got to come out with a full 24 minutes, though.
Fossil in his shotgun. Arrows showing pressure. It's going to be a tuck and run right up the middle, and not much there. Tyler Holt, first man on the spot at the 42. Gain of about 3. Second down and 7. Tyler Holt's played a pretty good game, and he's starting to come into his own out there.
Yeah, Joey Eisenhart had a nice little bit of pressure there on the outside. Maybe went a little bit too far on the outside, allowing Keaton Fossil to run it up the middle. But, you know, when you have a host of Arrows waiting for him, gain of 3 there for Keaton, but not much more.
It's youth cheerleader night here at Community Stadium for the Arrows.
I think they raided ODOT's closet for that gear that they're wearing there on the track.
Fossil, hand off Tyson. Cuts it up the middle, runs over one defender and knocked down out around the 46. Going to be short of the first down and just put his head down and drove forward.
Yeah, I think it's Jackson Abers who kind of takes the brunt of that, just hoping that the running back's going to go down, and Miles Tyson kind of bringing the aggression there to the would-be tackler.
He actually was a little too low. You say low man wins normally, but Aber actually got a little too low.
You lose leverage at some point, right? You know, like an athletic position, bent knees, you know, straight back, you know, a bold neck, they say, nice and strong. But if you get down too low, you lose all leverage.
Fossil on 3rd and 1. Rolls left, rolls right, launches it downfield for a man caught. 25-20 and pushed out of bounds by Jaden Goings is C.J. Carlisle. Take a look at the Sarver paving replay. Big play right there.
Just a man-to-man coverage on the back, and bringing a little bit of extra pressure is Ryan Stackhouse and company. And when you can't get home, when you can't get the pressure, too much time playing man-to-man defense, C.J. Carlisle going to pick up a big 30-yard reception. We'll give him 30 yards, I'm guessing on that.
Guys, Carlisle just ran Goings all over the field. That's what they did. It's man-on-man, as you guys identified, and he just kept rolling, and Fossil kept working back there. Somebody's going to be open.
Sideline warning on the arrows. That's one of the points of emphasis this year for the officials in the state of Ohio.
It's almost a standard, too, for Ashland to get at least one warning, you know, for a sideline violation.
Facts.
They tend to stack them up, don't they? Fossil in the shotgun, twins left, single to the right. Rolling left, pressure up the middle. Fossil's going to have to get rid of it. Pressure! Lacey brings him down with a sack for the Arrows at the 25.
Good coverage and good job on the outside, setting an outside boundary and making Keaton come back to the inside. Gunner kind of flying to the outside on the run stop, and then all of a sudden sees Keaton Fossil set up to throw, and that's just a green light for the junior? The junior.
Gunner.
Another another sack.
Sure, I like it.
Tackle for a loss.
It is a tackle and a sack. You get credit for both.
You get both, but you don't say it both. It's not a sack.
Arrows could use another sackle. Second's the cold medicine. Second down at 16. Long in motion. Little pitch. Coming around left side. Arrows have it sniffed out and brought down. Goings and Slaughter over there on the tackle.
See, here's the one thing, guys. Ryan Stackhouse defense getting beat. They give up a big 30-yard play. But when it's time to not break, they don't break. They have it all year, and they bow, but then they just come up big, and right here they're doing it yet again.
You know who it reminds me of? Former Browns defensive coordinator and head coach Greg Williams. Come get some.
Okay.
Right?
All right. I didn't know where you were going. There's like 700 DCs in the last 20 years.
You're not wrong. There's one DC up here in the press box. 7.5 minutes to go, 3rd and 17. Trips right, single to the left. Big play for the Arrows D. Fossil back to pass. It's a little screen to the near side. Caught and knocked down at the 21. It'll be a 5-yard pickup. 4th down and long coming up, and now you've got a decision on what would be about a 38-yard field goal.
It's another one of those bend but not break, and a good job by the defensive line getting out there. Once you feel that offensive lineman kind of lets you go and kind of toss you to the side, it means that play is getting to the outside.
Wow.
Sophomore Grayson Blau and company getting out there, just taking up space, if nothing else. Finally getting a nice tackle and bringing them down. That play's going to go for a gain of 6, but still bring up 4th and long. Going to be 4th and 11.
Don't jump.
Here we go, boys. 4th down and long. Biggest play of the ball game so far. Fossil back to pass. Trips left. Holt's coming. Holt's got him, and he wraps him up. Tyler Holt with a big sack. Brandon Briggs in on the sack as well.
Why not? Ryan Stackhouse bring more pressure on a big 4th down. Tyler Holt coming from the blind side in the tackle, just not able to pick him up. That's going to be number 64, Jeremy Bays, the young sophomore, understanding that pressure's probably coming, but not ready for the speed shown by Tyler Holt. Good job by Tyler getting to the quarterback, wrapping him up, not letting him go. That's a loss of 8 and a turnover on downs.
That gives us an opportunity to take a look at Brandon Briggs, our spotlight here, brought to you by Simonson Construction, the player profile in on that sack. He loves Mr. Wazowski, Mr. Parsons, who doesn't? Browns are his favorite team. We got to like that. He wants to be the valedictorian and play college football.
I like the first one of that much better than any answer. That's good for that young man.
Pretty awesome. The Briggs clan back to pass. Bernie. Oh, no! Intercepted at the 39. And right away, the Arrows give it back. Miscommunication between Bernie and Crudy on that play. And here you go. You see it.
Yeah, Crudy just never even looked. He was just run blocking that whole time. The pass was on route, the pass was on target, but the receiver just never even looked for it. Unfortunately,
he gets up, you saw it, he looked at his wristband to see what happened on that call.
Carter Watson comes away with it.
And that is a huge first turnover of the ball game, guys. And we always talk about whoever wins the turnover battle usually wins the ball game. And right now, the Arrows have given it right back. And after the defense, Tony came up with a huge stop. Now they're right back out on the field.
Yeah, you just kind of hand it right back to the opposing team, the Quakers. Penalty flag on the field. It looks like it's just going to get waved off, or it was going to be on the offensive side of the ball. It was going to go against the Arrows. Quakers decline it and bring out Mike Fossil and company one more time, now on the 31-yard line with a little bit of energy.
Trips left, single to the right. Fossil keeper. Up the middle, all kinds of room. 35, 25, 20, and inside, just inside the 21, and they'll mark it at the 20, a pickup of 11. That'll move the chains.
A very simple QB draw there for Fossil, and two defenders just not breaking down, not being aggressive. That's going to be both Tyler Salter and Braden Donatini just kind of reacting to not being aggressive, going to give up the first down. Now the Quakers inside the red zone.
Arrows hands on the hips of the defense out there. You see it, guys. They need to dig deep here and find another reserve of energy. Handoff. Tyson goes out left side, slips, thankfully, and gets to the 19, a gain of 1. He had some room out there and just lost his footing, and he might be hurt, guys. Oh, no.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there for the defense, too. Still kind of getting things lined up before he goes down.
Guys.
A non-contact injury.
Not good.
And all of a sudden, Miles Tyson, running back for the Quakers, is down.
We're going to take a break, guys. Arrows up 10-7, 5:55 to go in the third quarter.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
Back here, Community Stadium, second down and 10, handoff, left side. And not much there, a couple of yards on second down to Chris.
Thanks, guys. Down here with junior Yana Aubringer. Yana, thank you for the correction. You play the snare drum.
I do, yes.
The snare drum, is that the big one?
No. That is the small one. It makes a cracking sound, a nice staccato.
Staccato?
Staccato. And so it's a nice, sharp, like snapping sound, almost.
Like snapping your fingers?
Yeah, almost. That's one that you'll typically hear during cadences, or if you ever hear a big crack, like lightning.
Man, I am learning so much about the band. It's really awesome. So how long have you been part of the band?
I've been part of the band overall since 5th grade. This is my 7th year being a percussionist, and my 3rd year playing snare.
What's your favorite thing about the band?
Honestly, every Friday night, I've met some amazing people in band that I absolutely love, and they have changed my life, for real.
That's awesome.
And being able to just have fun, excitement through the walls every Friday night.
I got to know something. Have you ever marched the wrong way?
Me? No, never. I am a perfect marcher, except for every time that I just don't step up at the right time.
We're having an interview, and I think the crowd's going crazy, so I think we just got a turnover on downs or a turnover, so that's good news. Tell me what your plans are post-graduation.
What my what?
Your plans are post-graduation.
I plan on going to college, possibly minoring in music. I'm now in jazz band, or I'm in jazz band A, playing drum set for the past 2 years. I take 2 lessons a week for drum set. So because I'm doing so much, I'm half considering minoring in it.
All right, sounds good. Who's our biggest rival in the OT?
Lexington.
Back to you guys in the pre-Stella booth.
Thank you, Yana. Thank you to Marty Krall for loaning us one of his fantastic band members. And what a great answer about, her life kind of being changed by being in the band. And I know it was a big influence on my daughter as well. And it's not just athletics here at Ashland City Schools that we do so well. It's not just academics. It's all of the extracurriculars. We have some fantastic people, and we're in a people industry here in the school district. And you see Joey Eisenhart after the sack on the big fourth down. And, guys, you were right, Chris. You were talking with Yana, and, boy, the Arrows defense with 2 straight fourth down stops, Tony.
Yeah, we'll catch you up after that interview. Quakers came out with 2 running attempts from Colston Fox, 1 for 2 yards and 1 for -1 yard, setting up a big 4th and long. And then Joey Eisenhart just getting pressure right up the middle. Once you get pressure up the middle, there's not much you can do. Fossil doing his best to get out of it, and all of a sudden here comes Gavin Hoffman one more time. But Joey Eisenhart going to end up getting the sack. Looked like he got a little bit of a cramp. Going to have to set out a little bit and get that thing stretched out as the Ashland offense comes back. Hopefully to put up a few more points. 4:21 to go here in the third quarter. Ashland still nursing just a 3-point lead, 10-7. Ashland's football.
Ernie in the shotgun. Trips right, Twins left. Back to pass. Looking near side. Grayson Baith caught at the 28 and blown up right there. That's Brody Gilland on the tackle, and the Arrows lose a couple yards.
That's a play that you got to get an early block on the guy that's man-to-man on him. You fire that out there to Grayson Baith, and you got to get an offensive lineman out there fast enough to get the first block. And, again, that's the backup. August Roush coming in because Joey Eisenhart kind of nursing that cramp a little bit, just not able to get out there and get that contact. You don't have to even get a great block out there, but you got to at least get a chip on that cornerback to give that receiver an opportunity to make a play. Not able to do so, so Grayson going to lose 2.
Ernie, right side. He's got a man caught at the 34 and falling forward out to the 35. I shouldn't say falling. Working hard to get a couple extra yards was Tyler Sauter out to the 36. And that gives him 8 on third down, or bringing up third down and a manageable about 4.5 yards here.
Yeah, good pickup to be able to get back the few yards that you lost on first down and pick up enough to make it third and manageable. Now sitting at 3rd and 4. Full playbook opportunity. It looks like Joey Eisenhart back in at left tackle. Feeling good. Good to have your full-strength offensive line back in there for a big third down.
Big third down. Bernie in the shotgun. Trips right, Twins left. Pressure coming off the edge. He looks right. He's got a man caught. Yes. First down at the 42. Nice job on that far side. Killian O'Brien with his second catch of the night. Pickup of 6. The Arrows move the chains, and we've got a BB&C car care. First down.
Yeah, and Ashland going into a little bit of a hurry-up. They've got wristbands that they can play fast, and I think this Quaker team is probably just as tired as this Ashland team is. I'd love them to see them continue to play a little bit of a 2-minute offensive drill here. Play a little bit quicker. See if you can't get some matchup mistakes right now. Trips to the boundary side. It looks like you have an advantage coming over here to our near side.
And in motion. Handoff. They're all over it, but he makes a nice cut up field and gets himself out past the 45. Grayson Baith.
Sorry, guys.
I'll go for it. You saw it well.
What a terrific run. I mean, the kid just refuses to go down. And, we talked about him only being a sophomore, Grayson Baith. The kid runs absolutely hard and gets every last yard he can get. Well done by Grayson Baith.
Yeah, and sometimes high school kids can get caught kind of dancing in the hole or kind of not making a quick decision. Should I go left? Should I go right? Where's the hole? And that time you can see Grayson just read the block of Tyler Sauter quickly, be decisive. He made the right read, and all of a sudden he picks up 6. Now it's 2nd and 4.
Read option. Bernie keeper comes near side trouble. He's in trouble, throws it away wisely.
Smart.
Really nice job by Nathan Bernhardt to throw it away because he had trouble coming at him, Tony.
Yeah, just too much pressure in his face. Again, once Ashland's showing this motion, more and more outside linebackers are coming. This time 5 guys coming for the Quakers. Offensive line kind of holding people off as best they can, but once you get into that 3-second count and 4-second count and no one's there, Nathan wisely just fires one out of bounds.
Third down and 5, 2:02 to go. Brandon Wells, Tony Van Dyne in the pre-dental broadcast booth. Big play coming up. Bernie in a shotgun, trips right, Twins left. He's back to pass, pressure coming off the edge. He's going to fire it on the slant on the outside for O'Brien and skips it in, incomplete.
Maybe the first missed pass there for Nathan Bernhardt that we've seen all night. A couple of guys that probably had opportunities to fire. He goes back to KOB trying to pick up enough for the first down. Just fires it into the ground. We'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, don't forget, you can watch all the Arrows action on Friday nights, tonight, and the rest of the season, hopefully into December. at the South Street Grill, the official watch party location of Arrows football. South Street Grill. Dustin Crudy coming on to boot it away and almost got to it. A good punt, though, spiraling inside the 20. Oh, nice bounce for the Arrows inside the 10 and down right there at the 8-yard line by Gabe Baith. Fantastic 45-yard punt for Dustin Crudy.
Yeah, a couple of guys coming in for the Quakers to maybe be would-be blockers from that punt. Gunnar Lacey does a nice job picking the first dangerous man, and Dakota finally gets a hold of a nice punt that stays out of the end zone. Going to be downed all the way, as you said, on the 8-yard line.
His dad would be proud if he punted it 45 yards.
He would.
Dustin Crudy, but it was Dakota Crudy.
Was that a pin?
That was my glasses I just threw down. I might have to go see Dr. Denbo or Dr. Buckley over there at Ashland Eye Care, because I was, it's twice this year at least that I've called him his dad's name, and I guess that's what happens when you live in a small town, right? It's just part of what we sign up for here. Meanwhile, first down and 10 at their own 8. Big possession coming. 1:50 to go in a third quarter. Quakers football going left to right. Fossil. Handoff. Nothing. Right up the middle and not much there.
Colston Fox.
Fox. Good job by that Arrows defense pressing in.
Yeah, Colston Fox really more kind of a fullback style runner compared to the Miles Tyson that we've seen all night. Miles, again, going down on that last drive on the sideline, still getting a little bit of attendance. So Colston's probably going to be, the cowbell wearer for the rest of the night. That one goes for 0. Good job by the front 3 guys. Just standing everyone up, making a little bit of confusion, and then bringing them down for no gain.
Brandon Briggs and Buda Martin in on the tackle there for the Arrows. Gertel showing pressure off the edge, approaching the 1-minute mark. Trouble. Fossil brought down in the backfield for a sack at the 4-yard line. The Arrows with another one. Goings came on the pressure as well.
You called it. Liam Gertel comes with pressure and a nice push on the outside and just resilient pressure up the middle. Just a team sack. Brandon Briggs is in the middle of that. Dylan Vudges is in there. Liam Gertel.
Buda Martin, everybody in there, and Goings the last man in as well. The Arrows with a team effort, a big third down coming up, guys. 3rd and 14 on their own 4. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. 10 on the play clock.
The coaching staff has to be a little bit careful there because with that nice coverage, there was a chance there that we were talking maybe safety, and now on the 5-yard line, Quakers looking at the play clock down to 1.
Just get it off. Keeper. Fossil tries to cut it outside, cuts it back inside. Trouble. He's got some room. And finally brought down to the 19.
Going to be a first down.
And he gets the first down. Missed tackles galore by the Arrows on the biggest play so far in the third quarter right there to get themselves out from the shadow of the goalpost. And it should be the last play of the third quarter. Stops the clock momentarily, but the Arrows will be heading to the fourth quarter with a 10-7 lead.
Simonson Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics, the most trusted and efficient construction company in the region. With a long history of doing things the right way from concept to completion, Simonson Construction solves all your construction needs for commercial and public projects. A truly local company providing award-winning comprehensive design-build services since 1974. For more information, scan the QR code or go to simonsonconstruction.com.
Come visit the South Street Grill in downtown Ashland, the official watch location every Friday night during the Arrows football season. You can catch all the action in the bar area on the big screens. Elevated casual dining in downtown Ashland, steaks, seafood, hand-patted burgers, vegetarian options, salads, and a huge kids menu. Something for everyone in a completely renovated historic building. South Street Grill, your home for Arrows football.
10-7 Arrows. Start of the fourth quarter and the OCC opener for Ashland. Game number 2 in the OCC for the Quakers. And it's a big one. First down after a big third down pickup by Keaton Fossil.
Yeah, a frustrating third down conversion given up there by Ashland. The second time I think this game that we've had a third down where it looked like the defense kind of relaxed and went 70% speed, 80% speed. The first one going for the 75-yard touchdown, this one for a 14-yard first down. Ashland defense can't give up until the fourth down play is over.
Fossil, handoff. Cut back to the near side. No hold called, but wrapped up right away. Maybe a yard or back to the line of scrimmage. Not much there for Fox.
First time we've seen a little counterplay here for New Philadelphia, trying to get everyone going to the right and then letting Colston Fox come back to the left. Getting held on the outside is the defensive end, but good job by Liam, just continuing to fight through it. Sometimes you get held. Good job not complaining about it. Continue to fight, shed that defender, makes a nice tackle, gain of 0, live another down. Talk to the official on the way back to say, hey,
yeah,
sir.
Gurtel did a good job of containment and setting the edge and staying out there and fighting through the hold. And a shotgun fossil. That's a backwards pass, guys, and that's going to be wrapped up at the 14 right there. Nothing doing. Great job defensively by the Arrows to wrap up C.J. Carlisle.
Yeah, and that's going to be the senior Tyler Sauter just flying in. It looks like that double pass play because it was developing so slowly and because that's such a big belly play, you can kind of see it better from our vantage point and from the TV vantage point, the Ashland Broadcasting Network. You can watch just how backwards of a pass that thing was. Looks like another Quaker kind of cramping. That's going to be an offensive lineman up quickly and getting stretched out. But the big loss of 6 there by Tyler Sauter, taking ground again, bringing them down for a loss of 6.
Gives us an opportunity to take a look at what the regional rankings were looking like coming into today. I know it's only week 4, guys, but you know the Arrows sitting pretty high up in the rankings at 3rd, 3-0, and a lot of teams that we all recognize, some really good squads on there.
Yeah, top 16 teams in every region gets to make it to the playoffs. Goal number 1, obviously, at the end of 10 games is just to be in that top 16, and you'd love to be in that top 8 because that means you get to host a home game, something that Ashland hasn't seen in a couple of years, minus the COVID season. And Ashland's sitting at number 3 right now, looking pretty good, pretty strong. Lots of teams in there that still have a lot of games, obviously, 7 games to go. So it'll continue to shake up, and the more wins that you can stack together, the more level 2 points you're going to get, and the more you have that chance to stay in the top 8.
Guys, that was C.J. Carlisle who went off there in that last play.
Thank you, sir. Was it a cramp? That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Big play coming up here. 2nd and 14. Fossil's going to launch it down the far sideline. And Gotti with great coverage down the far sideline. And that might be offensive.
Absolutely.
We'll see, because Ngani might have had it, guys.
Ngani was the receiver on that play. There's no question.
Here it is. Take a look at the replay.
Yeah, it looked like Ngani played that pretty clean, had inside position the whole time. The flag comes out quickly, and it's still going to have to come up to the official's discretion. Pass intended for Carson Long.
Boy, that's going to be
the Quakers just marching up there like it's going to be a defensive pass interference, though.
There's no way.
I cannot tell you, you saw it on the replay. It looked like great coverage. The officials are still talking, guys. They may even just wave it off, right? If both guys were going after it a little bit, they may end up waving it off, and that's what we might see. The coaches on the Arrows sideline are hot. They are waving it off. Yeah, and as soon as they started talking, I was like,
Yeah, I think that's when one official says, I have a clear defensive pass interference, and another official says, that's clearly offensive. At that point, you just can't make the call. So officials wave it off. Chris has a little side conversation with the line judge down there, apparently.
He said he couldn't see it from 50 yards. I said, don't worry about it. I saw it from 80.
Math is not your strong suit. But nonetheless, 10:50 to go. You're right, Chris, and the Arrows with a big stop on 3rd down, guys.
Yeah, and even after giving up, go back to that 3rd down, 3rd and long, 3rd and 14 that the Quakers were able to convert in the 3rd quarter going into this 4th quarter. Ashland puts together 3 consecutive stops. Now it's 4th and 14, and the Quakers punting from their own end zone.
Here we go. Sauter standing near midfield, low line drive kick. Takes a bounce. Nice job by Sauter to grab it. 50, 45, still on his feet, bullying his way forward inside the 40. And the Arrows are going to have fantastic field position. Great job by Tyler Sauter.
Yeah, sometimes just playing the ball. That ball was rolling fast. Probably was going to get another 15 or 20 yards. Just by picking it up, he saves that. And then he bulldogs himself another 11 yards ahead to get inside the 40-yard line. Nathan Bernhard going to take over here on the 39-yard line. Ashland doesn't have a whole lot of offense here in this second half, Chris. One play and out, the kind of botched play where Crudy was kind of confused on the play call. Nathan throws an interception. Ashland just needs to settle down here with 10:41 to go. You've got the lead. You got a 3-point lead, 10-7, and put up some more points.
Keeper by Bernie up the middle on the draw. 30, 25, still on his feet. Spins down at the 20.
I know what play's coming next.
first designed run, just a QB right up the middle, right into that two gap. Good job by the offensive line, driving the feet, getting pressure, and you can see the Quakers defense just exhausted. They are tired, they're standing up, and even when they're giving pursuit, they're not going at 100%. Not a lot of energy left. If Ashland can continue to bring energy, I think we can see a quick Ashland score.
Well, Tony, it's like, sorry, Brandon, it's like what we talked in the beginning of the game. You know, the key was take what they give you.
That Arrows offensive line continued blocking downfield. Handoff, Franz on the jet sweep. Up the middle, 15-10.
Gone!
Touchdown Arrows! Michael Franz from 20 yards out.
We've seen the play over and over, and we just haven't been able to hit it this time. A nice kick-out block there by Tyler Sauter. Springs it. Touched. No touch. Michael Franz just dances into the end zone, looks over at the student section and says, I just secured a 9-point lead.
Comfort control touchdown for the Arrows. Extends the lead to 16-7.
No swinging gate. I think coaching staff has seen enough of it. Just go get the points, young man.
O'Brien will be the holder for O'Brien. And O'Brien kicks it up. And it's good. 17-7. Arrows with a 10-point lead. We'll take a break. Be back with more.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
Back here at Community Stadium. Arrows.
What was that?
With a 17-7 lead. I was trying to play us some music, guys.
It's like level 1500.
Listen, I was trying to play something cool.
A two-play drive there for Ashland. A 20-yard rush by Nathan Bernhard set it up for a 15-yard touchdown run. Michael Franz now, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown. And I still have music getting played over me.
There it is. You're welcome, everybody. I think I was playing 2 songs, and I couldn't hear it at all, so my apologies. The Connery Manufacturing kickoff getting ready to take place. Carson O'Brien booting it away. That's why when you watch ESPN, they've got a full truck and 4 audio guys. Here we go.
Got to
for
cover
the
the
5.
kickoff.
15-20, 25-30. Big trouble. Uh-oh. And finally brought down from behind, out past the 30. Nice job there by the Arrows, finally catching up. And that was Braden Donatini who hustled back and made the tackle.
Yeah, it's really easy to take plays off and, a couple of missed tackles, and all of a sudden it looked like the Quaker return man, C.J. Carlisle, was going to find a little bit of lane, but finally gets drugged down just over the 30-yard line. Ashland defense playing well through this first half and second half. Gave up just 1 score. Needs another big stop. Now we're under 10 minutes. Ashland offense did what they needed to do to secure a 2-possession lead. You have to continue to bring the energy and not let the Quakers get back into this thing.
Tony, you've noted they're tired, these new Philadelphia Quakers. Do you just send more pressure if you're stacked?
I think you just bring energy.
Stay complete.
Ossel skips it over to the near side.
He gave it to him.
Carson Long going to get awarded the catch and going to actually probably lose a yard on that. I don't think you have to bring in. You don't have to bring more men at this point. You just need to say you need to win your one-on-one matchup. So you got Dylan Budges in there right now. You got Brandon Briggs has been going both ways. You got Buddha Martin who can bench press a small car
or a semi.
You just tell them like, hey, go win right now. You guys. Minus Brandon, Buddha and Dylan specifically, hey, you guys are defensive specialists. Go win right now. Go get me a sack.
2nd down, 11. Ossel. Pressure from Martin gets away. Throws it off to the near side and caught at the 40. Great job of holding on to that ball by Carson Long over on the far side. I will tell you, that was a fantastic catch because he got lit up.
Yeah, Fossil does a nice job just evading the tackler of Buddha. It throws a nice 9-yard completion and all of a sudden tackled. Carson Long going to be asked to step up even more here with some of the injuries and some of the cramping. CJ Carlisle still nursing a little bit of cramping or injury on the sideline. Going to need number 12 for the Quakers to step up. Now a big 3rd and 1.
Up the middle, and he's got it. That was Miles Tyson. And they needed one, and they got about 1.5 yards. And that'll move the chains. That's all they needed.
Yeah, a little bit of a line shift now. Grayson Blau, looks like Joey Eisenhart and Cooper Smith going to come in, just keeping those guys fresh and kind of switching from a rushing attack to a passing attack. Some of those guys that were just in kind of the Stackhouse's go-to guys when we think they're going to run the ball. Now these guys kind of, you can see them switching on the defensive line, bringing a little bit of pressure, thinking that the Quakers are going to start throwing the ball.
And a shotgun Fossil looking over to the right for the swing pass. Not much.
Got him.
Cooper Smith has it.
Got him.
Cooper Smith. Yes, sir. Brings him down at the 34.
And this is what you can do when you're fresh. You get a little bit of a break. You get some water. You come in, and then all of a sudden you just toss that left guard aside. Left guard and the left tackle for the Quakers just standing up, just so tired. 7 offensive guys going both ways for the Quakers, playing both offense and defense. Obviously, they get a little bit of breaks and some substitutions, but this is where that fatigue really gets to set in. 7:40 to go. Now you're down by 10, and now you're way behind the sticks. This will be a 2nd and 20.
Guys, keep in mind, they're using the entire play clock, too. Our enemy right now is that clock at 7:30 to go.
2 seconds. They're going to have to call a timeout, guys. A big timeout called by the Quakers as they were going to run out. You just said it, Chris. The play clock was about to run out, and that's what happened.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. And, that's 3 plays in a row that they were a complete pass or a run. We had that 1 sack there, but that clock just continued to go. There, when Tony called the 1 play, it was almost 9 minutes on the clock. It's 7:27 to go here. So, the Quakers are giving us a gift by running this play clock all the way down to 1 or 2 or 3 seconds and just burning this valuable time off the clock.
Last year, guys, Clint used Philly to cover this game, and it was 28-0. We lost, and we got our butts kicked up and down.
Yeah, and really we lost at the line of scrimmage. There was just too many guys that were kind of dominating our offensive and defensive line. Now it looks reversed. It looks like our offensive line is taking care of business. On the offensive side, 2 rushing attempts go for touchdowns. Now the defense is going to bring themselves back out there. Again, we got Blau in front, Cooper Smith, Joey Eisenhart. Front 3.
Last year, we got throttled at New Philly. Fossil back to pass. 2nd down and 20. Over on the right side, a big pickup in trouble. Into the Arrows side of the midfield, and that is all the way down to the 43 before the Arrows finally able to bring down Carson Long, but a 1st down, and the chains are moving. 7 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter, and the Quakers are on the move.
Good play call there by Mike Johnson, kind of understanding that Ashland's got a lot of energy and they're probably going to bring some more pressure. He dials up a play call that actually uses that pressure against Ashland, just kind of throwing over those would-be wave of defenders, trying to get something behind them. Carson Long picks up a really short pass and takes it for 23 yards.
Fossil rolls left. He's got a man open at the 33, caught, and there he goes. Carlisle's going to go all the way to the end zone on the right side. 43-yard touchdown, guys, and it's a 1-score game. 17-13, Carlisle and Fossil.
Yeah, it really felt like there was an opportunity for Ashland's defense to get this thing back into the offensive hands and really kind of be in control of this game. And all of a sudden, the Quakers find pay dirt one more time. Now 17-13 with an extra point coming. And now with 7 minutes to go, it's anybody's ballgame.
Well, you saw it on the replay. A couple of whiffs, one big one there in the middle. But 6:53 to go in the 4th quarter. We've got a heck of a football game. An extra point coming from Noah Coletti. And it's up, and it is good. 17-14, 6:53 to go, guys. We will keep it right here. The Arrows and the Quakers in what is turning out to be a marvelous opener in the OCC for the Arrows in the 2nd week of OCC play for the Quakers.
Yeah, Ashland finding some success on their last offensive drive, running the ball. it's going to be interesting to see how Scott Valentine wants to come out and kind of play this, because they could come out and say, hey, we've still got the lead at 7 minutes to go. We could actually just drive this thing all the way down and eat 7 minutes of clock, or you can continue to be aggressive. Scott's going to have to go to his playbook, see how his players are feeling, see how the offensive line is feeling, see how much energy they've got, how much juice they've got, and start to put together a nice little play call.
Guys, the reality is for us, it's missed tackles. If we don't have the missed tackles that we've had tonight, it's a different score on the scoreboard. It's a different game overall. And I know that the coaches here on the sideline are, huddling their guys up and imploring them to start getting those tackles made. And, I think everybody that's watching this game can see that. It's just the reality. And, tackling is the name of the game.
It is one of the hardest things to do on a field, there's no doubt. But Arrows are going to have to figure out a way. And they've got their hands team out there, guys, and you've got one guy deep. This is interesting. Franz standing at the 11.
Yeah, a big old space to the left just to pooch something over there. Not the greatest setup right now. As the camera guys zoom out a little bit and kind of see the hands team. Michael Franz going to be the sole guy. He's going to have to show his speed off just to cover this ball if they get creative.
It is a squib. And a good job right there by the Arrows. And Ian Owens with a fantastic job. He read it better than we did. he saw the onside kick of the squib coming, and the Arrows recover.
Yeah, pretty nice onside kick, putting that thing right in the ground. It takes the perfect bounce. Ashland just does a better job of covering it up. A couple of guys then jumping on top. Looks like that's going to be Abers just jumping on top, making sure that thing doesn't squirt out. But
Jeff Hickey.
Jeff Hickey was the guy who recovered it, and then Aber just jumped on him and said, hey, we're staying right here.
I'm not sure why the Quakers onside kick, though, with 7 minutes to go. I think I would still kick off and let my defense try to make something happen.
I agree, Tony, especially after you saw them line up. Wouldn't you audible out of that and just boot it deep?
Or at least to the far left and, see if a little bit of crazy action could happen.
Bernie, keeper up the middle on first down. And from the 44 out to the 47. 6:40 to go and counting. Arrows with a 3-point lead. You're in a weird spot here. Like you said, Tony, you can't play too conservatively. You still need to put the foot on the gas and try to score a touchdown here.
Yeah, it looks like Valentine's at least testing the waters one more time to say, hey, we had 2 rushing plays last time that you guys didn't stop. Let's go back to it one more time. It looks like the Quakers have actually gone to a smaller 3-man front as well. It looks like these guys could, maybe be handled by the front 5. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ashland just continue to rush the ball.
Franz, play action to Franz. Bernie in trouble, pressure coming. He stiff arms one defender. He's going to launch it downfield. He's got a man caught. Killian O'Brien at the 48. Nice pickup of 5. Bernie turned what would have been a loss into a nice pickup.
If you've ever wondered what a stiff arm is, that right there, sir, is a stiff arm. Keeping your hand open, putting the hand on the would-be tackler's face and just shoving it away. Number 10, 6'5", showing a little bit of length and strength with that off arm before finally finding Killian O'Brien for a pickup of 5. Good job with his feet work, keeping his feet in bounds, making the catch, then stepping out of bounds. Going to make this 3rd and 2. A big 3rd down conversion, though, needed here for Ashland.
Guys, watch the play clock. When the game clock is running, we've got to use that play clock up.
Play clock at 4. Franz in motion. Handoff, jet sweep. Cuts it back inside. Oh, boy, he lunges for the first down. They're going to mark him back. I think he's short, guys, in the 46. We'll see. Franz tried to lunge forward. You'll see it at the end on this replay. Good job over there, Gunder. And he lunges forward. The question is, was his knee down before he put that? His arm was down before he lunged out forward. So that right forearm, you saw it, hit the ground before he lunged what would have been a definite first down. And this mark is, I think, going to be a little short. They might bring the chains out here and measure. It'll be probably 4th down and about a half a yard.
Well, we've seen a power set here for Ashland in the first 3 games that we haven't had to use many times.
Right.
A little bit of Buda Martin, a little bit of Gunnar Lacey, and a little bit of 6'5" Nathan Bernhard. I wouldn't be surprised if this is short that they just run out there and
push
QB sneak.
Yeah,
if you need it.
It's what the Eagles have run over there in Philadelphia and made famous the last few years. He's short by about 1.5 inches, guys. Right, and it is so close. I think you've got a tough decision here, but I think you go for it. Just go Bernie up right over the middle.
Tony, you asked for it. You're getting it right here.
Here comes the power formation.
Yeah, and they're going to put Nathan Bernhard usually back in shotgun with a couple of power running backs beside him. And then there's all sorts of options. You could run a sweep with Nathan Bernhard. You could sneak all 3 of them up there and just tell those guys, I want you to shove number 10 as hard as you can right up the middle and rely on your front 3.
You got to get a play in here and not burn a timeout. You've had the measurement time. You got to get a play in here right now and get rolling. As soon as they roll this play clock, run it down, Right, you got to. I would have him under center, Tony. I'm not sure I'd have him in the shotgun.
Usually
you need an inch and a half.
Usually they come out in shotgun and then walk it up.
Here we go. Play clock has not started yet. They've reset the ball. They're just outside of the 46, and they need to get just inside of the 46.
Turn the play clock up.
Center Brandon Briggs, guards Nolan LaRue, Cooper Smith.
Play clock's not running yet, guys. I'm not sure what's happening. The officials are now.
They notice it too.
Timeout, Arrows.
I don't know why you take a timeout here, Coach. If you're going to take a timeout, at least let the play clock run because you got tackled in bounds, so you could have at least, Gunder knows that, at least take the 25 seconds. Missed opportunity for Ashland.
Arrows with a 3-point lead and the biggest play of the ball game coming up.
4th and inches. Maybe inch.
I hope that timeout doesn't come back to bite us. We still have 2 left. The Quakers have 2. This is a great way to start the OCC, but only if you win.
But you need one play. You need your best play right here for an inch and a half, and you challenge that offensive line like they just did on the sideline.
Here we go, boys.
Go get it.
Let's see it.
You ever seen an 8-man defensive front?
Here we go. Bernie under center. 4th down and an inch and a half. Hard count. Trying to get him to jump. Now he looks over to the sideline. Play clock running down to 15. 5:59 to go in the 4th quarter. Arrows with a 3-point lead.
Takes another timeout.
Are you kidding me? What are we doing? Oh, my goodness gracious. 2 timeouts burned, and the Arrows, maybe we're going to punt it away.
I mean,
what are we doing, Tone? I don't understand.
I don't know. The frustrating thing is, I don't like the first timeout. I definitely don't like the second timeout because even if you don't get the jump, if you don't get the hard count, there's got to be hey, we're running the first play or we're running the second play. These are high school kids that are smart enough to kind of understand that, hey, we're running the QB sneak or we're running the fake QB sneak or but to use 2 timeouts is just now putting a lot of trust and pressure on your defense. Have no idea what to expect at this point. The punting unit may came out. We may see a Grudy punt. Still may go for it at this point. Scott Valentine's going to have to find something special. It's going to be the same unit coming out.
5:59 to go. 17-14.
Could we see a deep shot with an 8-man front?
As long as we don't see another timeout. Single to the far side, 2 to the near side. Bernie under center, they're going to push forward. He's got the first down.
Your mic's off.
He's got the first down. Bernie runs himself forward. Great job by the Arrows. Listen, I had to turn my mic off. I was angry. Here we go.
Same offensive set that they've had the last couple of times. This time, Nathan Bernhardt does take the snap, follows to the left side, following Nolan LaRue, the big senior, getting a couple of yards. That's just enough for a first down, and the clock continues to run.
Burn the game clock.
Now under 6 minutes. Ashland still nursing, though, just a 3-point lead.
I want to thank Chris Mowry for telling me to turn my mic back on, but I will say that's knowing yourself because I didn't want to say something stupid or stupider. Bernie, keeper up the middle. He's got some room inside the 40, still on his feet inside the 35, another first down. 5.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and Bernie and company with a huge play.
I'm never going to complain about a first down. Pressure coming from the outside. Nathan Bernhardt, just QB draw. This is how we kind of finish off River Valley. It seems like how we're going to finish off the Quakers. You almost want to go down short there. You almost want a 2nd and short. Again, not going to complain about a first down. Good job there, Nathan. Picking up 11. 13 carries right now for Nathan Bernhardt. Just 31 rushing yards. Not a lot to speak of. A couple of sacks that have gone against him. His best rush has been for 20, but definitely getting something cooking here for Nathan.
Don't snap it with 8 and 9 on the clock.
Bernie taking his time, running that play clock down. Man in motion is Franz from the far side and a whistle, and we've got a false start on the Arrows.
Sauter.
Sometimes that's just hard, Chris, just holding. And if those guys who have so much adrenaline flowing and you want to go and all of a sudden you get in your set with 13 seconds to go and then you have to sit there for 12 seconds, those fast twitch muscles just are ready to fire. Sauter just firing a little bit too quick there. You're going to set him back 5 yards. Going to be 1st and 15. Resets the play clock and the game clock continues to run.
Play clock's at 10. Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, Tony's absolutely right. It's why you don't get to the line of scrimmage so early.
Correct.
Bernie in a shotgun. 3 on a play clock. Keeper up the middle. Good bit of space there. Puts his head down, still on his feet inside the 30, down near the 25, and just short of the 25. They'll mark it around the 27, but a big pickup on first down. Clock continues to run.
15-yarder.
Nothing fancy. Nathan Bernhardt
flag.
just
on us.
reading blocks. This one goes for 12 and was going to set up second and manageable, and now a flag, a holding penalty, going to set Ashland back even more. Now 4:35 to go. I guess if you run a couple of plays, the game clock continues to run, but you have penalties, the game clock could still end, right?
You could just keep getting penalized on purpose, right? I've thought about that strategy once before.
Calm down. That's easy there, big fella.
I'm fired up. Look, one thing you will never deny is that I am a passionate human who wants the Arrows to win in a bad way. And so I definitely get myself fired up out here.
Well, definitely not going the right way. Now 1st and 22, almost to midfield, now at the 46-yard line.
Clock's running.
Clock is running as the game clock now at 15. Going to snap the clock. The play a little bit early here again.
Franz ends around. He cuts it upfield, and he's just still about lost the ball, guys. And the Quakers haven't recovered it at the 39-yard line with 4:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
I think that's Michael Franz getting 6 yards and kind of hearing from the sideline, stay in, and all of a sudden he cuts back inside and a helmet just gets driven right on that football. That ball stays in bounds and a New Philadelphia Quaker comes up, number 2.
Second turnover
yeah.
of the ball game for the Arrows. And I said it earlier, guys, the team who wins the turnover battle, this is not rocket science, generally wins the ball game. And 2 big key turnovers so far. The Arrows are now back on defense, 4:15 to go, 3-point lead.
Keaton Fossil, 17 of 22, 238 yards, his best passing day of the season so far. 2 passing touchdowns on big plays to C.J. Carlisle, looking for something else, and that's going to be a false start on the Quakers.
False start going backward. Both teams getting a little excited, just like me up here yelling at people. 4:13 to go in the fourth quarter. First down and 15 after they push him back to the 33-yard line. Tonight's game is brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, bringing you unplugged fun for more than 100 years. Down to Chris.
Calm down up there, Jamie Tart. Calm down.
Yeah, well, it's better than going Roy Kent up here. 33-yard line, first down and 15. Trips right, single to the near side, and now what? Officials coming in and making sure the spot is correct. They're going to move it back about a half of an inch. Well done.
Maybe the center snuck it up just a bit.
Yep, he got it. Officials doing a pretty good job tonight, actually. I think they've been really good. It's Brian Bednarczyk, Nick Pierce, Dominic Mercerelli, Dan Baylor, Mike Hampshire, and Greg Shimmick.
Liam Gertel checking in here for the Ashland defense. Plays that outside linebacker position, but almost walks up as a 4th defensive lineman. Looks like this is how Stackhouse and company are going to bring some extra pressure, probably bringing 4 guys up front.
4:15 to go. First down and 15. 17-14 Arrows. Fossil back to pass for New Philly. Looks right. Got a man caught at the 40 and knocked down at the 41. And they pick up a few more than the penalty that they just got. So it'll be second down and 7 or 8. Nice job by Carson Long. He's had a good night.
Yeah, 7 catches on 10 targets here for Carson so far, 51 yards. Nice secure catch. Getting pulled down by Tyler Salter. Kind of understands that the ball is going to get ripped at. He's covering it with both arms, making sure that thing doesn't pop out. Second down and 8 here for the Quakers.
Keeper Fossil, all kinds of room up the middle, and he's got the first down out near midfield before he's brought down, tripped up. And the Quakers on the move. Arrows kind of on their heels here.
Yeah, needed 8 yards, going to pick up 10. Kind of a quick snap, and outside the linebacker, or inside the linebacker, Gunnar Lacey kind of coming on a C-gap blitz, kind of rotating some guys over, vacating the space that Keaton Fossil was running. No one there to bring him down. Going to get the first down right at midfield. Quakers now 3.5 minutes to go.
Fossil in a shotgun. Back to pass pressure coming. Throws it out to the right. Wide open. Carson Long at the 45. Leaps over a defender. And he goes down inside the 40. And going to be just short of the first down. Second down and 1. Clock continues to run. 3:15 to go. Second down and short. Arrows with a 3-point lead here at Community Stadium over the Quakers of New Philadelphia.
A lot of pressure here coming for Ashland, and again, just thrown to the outside, and all of a sudden they're outside of the pressure. When you bring pressure, you got to get home. You got to get to the quarterback. A couple of sacks tonight for the Ashland Arrows, bringing Fossil down, but that time not able to get to him before he gets the ball out to Carson Long, picking up another 9 yards, setting up second short.
2:50 to go. Fossil keeper around the edge on the right side. He's got a first down and gets out of bounds And a few of the Quakers get knocked over. No flags. It looked like they wanted a late hit over there, but it was right as they were all going out of bounds. But a first down, 2:46 to go. And, the Arrows burned 2 of those timeouts. We got 1 timeout left. The Quakers have 2. They need a field goal to tie. Obviously, a touchdown and an extra point puts them up by 4. Ball at the 38 in the Arrows' half of the field.
Got Michael Franz in there now as safety. Landon Briggs out there, and Ghani going to be playing the secondary along with Brandon Donatini. Of course, Tyler Salter roaming the middle, and Gunnar Lacey right.
Fossil pressure coming. Gertel forces him out of the pocket, and he has to throw it away. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Nice job, Liam Gertel, on that pass rush.
Yeah, good job just getting home. Good pressure right up the middle. Gunnar Lacey coming A-gap, runs right into the would-be blocker of the running back, but just nothing out there. Good job by Ngani. Playing man-to-man pressure, getting the incompletion. 2nd and long here for the Quakers. 2:42 left on the game clock.
Make sure you stay tuned for the post-game show. Brought to you by Hedstrom. We'll have our Truax Britting player of the game, our Comfort Control play of the game.
Demeanor TBD with 2 minutes, 42 seconds to go.
Correct. Fossil in the shotgun, back to pass, looking downfield. He's got all day, launches it down the right sideline. It is knocked away by Ngani. Josh Ngani with a fantastic job.
He watched it all the way, didn't get burnt. Number 4, Josh Ngani, good back pedal, seeing it the whole way. Fossil does a nice job looking away and then coming back to the one-on-one receiver. Ball a little bit underthrown, and Ngani keeping his hands up high, swatting the ball away, out of bounds. Now 3rd and long, but clearly 4 down territory.
Ian Owens with a fantastic job up there running the camera. Well done, young man. 3rd down and 10, ball at the 38. Fossil in the shotgun, trips left, single to the far side.
Looks like 5 coming for Ashland.
Back to pass. They kind of drop back into coverage. He's going to launch it downfield, almost like a Hail Mary. The Arrows might have it. It's intercepted and dropped. Oh, Slaughter had it at the 2. Would have been a tough spot for the Arrows. 4th down and 10 coming up.
It was a Hail Mary. It was 3 go routes with everyone converging in the middle. Tyler Sauter had the opportunity to catch it over his shoulder. Would have probably been down on the 1.
Would have been close. I'm not sure yet. Depends how this next play goes, whether that was good or not.
Almost seemed like an arm punt, if you ever heard the phrase. Instead of punting on 3rd down, 3rd and long, you just throw it deep. Maybe you get an interception, but if you get the interception, it's as good as a punt.
A PI.
But
that
not
was 2:29 to go and down by 3.
Correct, Chris. That's the confusing part. Why do that on 3rd and 10 when you've ran the ball so well? Fossils ran it so effectively right up the middle. I would have gotten at least 5 or 6, and now the Quakers going to take a timeout. They had 2. This will be their 2nd, leaving just 1 in the pocket.
Just to give a little reset here, folks. 2:29 to go in the 4th quarter. 17-14 Arrows on top in their first OCC game of the season, coming in 3-0 against the new Philadelphia Quakers. 2-1, 1-0 in the OCC. This could be the de facto OCC championship, the way things are looking around the conference. You just don't know. But these are 2 of the top teams for sure in the conference.
Yeah, it's the game of football. There are so many unknowns. And if you rewind this game and we rewatch this game, how insignificant did that field goal feel on the first quarter of it? You're kicking a field goal inside the 10. Why didn't you just
like
go
an extra
for it?
Point.
Seems silly, but now you look back and you're like, oh my goodness, when you score, when you put points on the board, now you're nursing a 3-point lead, and you've got New Philadelphia sitting here at 4th and long with 1 timeout. This is the play of the game. If Ashland can come up with 1 more stop, this will more than likely secure the win. It's going to be real
just
close.
About. 4th down. They need 10. They're at the 38. Fossil in a shotgun. Trips left, single to the far side, back to pass. He's looking left, pressure coming. He throws it away out of bounds. Incomplete. Ngani with great coverage. The Arrows stop him again on 4th down. Another turnover on downs.
We got a pin throw by the coaches on the other side just because Keaton Fossil didn't understand that you can't just throw this thing out of bounds. Good pressure there by the Ashland front 4 getting to Fossil. There was everyone from the front 4 was around number 11. Fossil under pressure just fires one out there. Should have just tossed one up in the middle to see what happens, but going to be a turnover on downs, bringing out Ashland with a 3-point lead.
Mansfield Senior is 0-4.
They lost
They
again.
have been
They lost at
shut.
West Holmes.
They've been shut out by the Knights, 26-0, and Madison gets on the board with a 10-point win over the Generals.
We'll see Senior in a couple weeks, about 3 weeks from now. Shotgun, Bernie up the middle, tripped up right away. And nothing doing. 2:19 and counting. Lost maybe a yard. Well, they might give him a yard, actually. He's 6'5", so he gets a yard falling forward.
The 0 points for the senior is the surprising part for me.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. Gonna be a
They're a
timeout.
little dinged up. That timeout by the Quakers with 2:12. Listen, never count out the
Chokey.
Tigers and
Correct.
Chokey Bradley. They might start 0-4, Chris, but nonetheless, you can't take them lightly the rest of the way.
No, they're going to be as athletic as any team we'll see. We got Maple Heights. I don't want to jump ahead to the postgame show, but, I mean, they're athletic. They always are. They're dangerous out. You know, and Chokey Bradley's as good as any coach this conference has, and he'll, as long as those guys don't lay down over there, he'll just keep working them and trying to figure that thing out. But, you know, Madison, hat tip to those guys. They get a win, Tony. We talked about that they were going to be a better team. And, yeah, OCC, as we previewed in the game tonight, sure looked like it was going to be the front runner, whoever came out victorious tonight.
Second down and 9.
Yeah.
After a 1-yard pickup. That was the last timeout by the Quakers. 2:12 to go.
You need a first down to finish the thing.
Just going to run it right up the middle here, right? Arrows still have 1 timeout to go. Yeah, even if you don't get the first down, you could give it back to them with about 45 seconds left, right?
Yeah, I think that's my play call. My play call is just 3 more quarterback dives right up the middle.
2 more. And then if you don't get it, you're punting.
I'm going to get a first down, so I'm going to do 3 more.
Not on 4th down. You're punting it away. And, they got him to jump on the hard count.
Nice hard count.
That's a big 5 yards for the Arrows, even if you end up not getting the first down, just more yardage to push the Quakers back into their end of the field. So now the ball's at the 44.
I mean, you don't think of a 5-yard penalty as being that impactful to an entire game, but when you're looking at 2nd and 9, you get more than half of the yardage that you need. Good job by Nathan Bernhardt and the offensive line, just kind of holding there. Definitely talked about that during that timeout to say, hey, we're going to hard count. Just sit there. We'll reset it one more time. Show in motion, hard count, check with me, run this thing all the way down to 3. We're going to take another timeout.
So we're taking another timeout when the clock wasn't running, right? Oh, my. We got to get that stuff cleaned up, right?
Game management would not have been strong so far in the second half.
Well, the Arrows with a 3-point lead and 2:15 to go in the 4th quarter, holding on to the lead. 2nd down and 4 coming up. But I will say, look, it's a big play. You get a first down here, it's over.
Oh, yeah, it's a huge play. Yeah, it's a huge play here on 2nd down. You have 2 opportunities, really, to pick up the 4 yards. Probably not looking to put the ball up in the air, even though New Philadelphia is going to bring 7 and 8 guys on the box. They're going to blitz 3 linebackers. They're going to do everything you can do to not give up the first down, but there's just too much of a risk to get an incompletion, to have the clock stop. Right now, the clock is on your side. Make sure that clock continues to roll.
Trips left, or Twins left. Twins to the near side. Bernie in the shotgun. 2:15 to go. Franz in motion. Hand off to Franz. Cut it upfield, young man. He does. And he's pushed down at the 49.
That's first down.
And I think he's got the first down, guys.
Tony, what's the greatest play in football?
Victory formation, sir.
That is a BB&C car care first down. And the Arrows are just a couple of potential kneel downs, I think, from winning this one out. I'm no math major. But I think
I'll take care of it for you.
We can do this. Thank you, Hillsdale. Under 2 minutes to go. The Arrows with a 3-point lead, coming off of last year's 28-0 thrashing over at Woody Hayes Stadium. And New Philadelphia have some payback.
You'll have to take 3 of these, but it will be enough. Quaker defense will line up.
Takes the knee. As Chris Mowry coordinates with ODOT assistant coach A.J. Beer, figure out who's going to come over and talk with us in the postgame. And we've got some decisions to make, Tony, about the play of the game and the player of the game as well.
Could I go for play of the game?
Let's hear it, Chris.
That's a field goal to put us up 3-0.
Well, and I want to see and talk with Carson O'Brien about that. As Tony alluded, early in the game, it was kind of an afterthought. You thought, okay, they got a field goal, and that's going to be the margin of victory here tonight. The Arrows will take a knee and need one more knee after this with a 3-point lead They are going to be sitting at 4-0 and 1-0 in the OCC as Maple Heights will come to town next week. We're our last non-conference ball game until the OHSAA playoffs.
Correct.
And that's happening, folks. You can book it, as my friend Chris would say.
Book it.
Bernie takes a knee. 17-14. The Arrows have taken down the Quakers.
Avenge that 28-3 thrashing, as you called it last year. Put ourselves in fantastic shape to lift the trophy at the end of the year.
Arrows Broadcasting Network presented by Sharver Paving. Happy to bring you tonight's Arrows victory over the Quakers of New Philly. We'll take a break and be back after this.
At Bill Harris Dealerships, where great prices meet an even better selection, we're driving home the best experience you've ever had. With Chevrolet, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, find the ride that defines you. And our huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks is why you should check Bill Harris first. 3 brands, 3 convenient locations, 1 unforgettable Bill Harris experience. Dive into great prices, explore a better selection, and enjoy the best buying experience with us today. Bill Harris Dealerships, the name you know and trust. BillHarrisDealerships.com.
Bo Lacey Construction is proud to sponsor Arrows Athletics. Experience you can trust done right on time. From siding to windows, decks, and bathrooms, Bo Lacey also is your go-to company for all your roofing needs. Whether it's your house or your business, we've got you covered. And don't forget to check out the new Hover 3D app so you can see what every exterior home project will look like when it's finished. Scan the QR code.
It's the Hedstrom postgame show here on the Arrows Broadcast Network. Brandon Wells, Tony Van Dyne, and the venerable Chris Mowry somewhere out there amongst the celebration. The Arrows with a 17-14 victory over the Quakers here at home at Community Stadium. Tony, I got to tell you, the Arrows came ready to play, and the defense really carried the load here today.
Yeah, the defense minus maybe 2 plays, is the reason that you got the victory. Again, stepping up in the red zone, getting the ball back when they need to. The offense, I wouldn't say sputtered. I wouldn't say was lackluster, but just didn't get into the groove that we've seen for the first 3 games. Ashland's going to actually not have as many total yards as they gave up against New Philly, but it did feel like the defense was the ones that, when it came down to it, were able to put their backs up and make a stand.
Yeah, Chris, I'll ask you as well. Offensively, the Arrows did just enough against a pretty good New Philly squad.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. That's my first thing to Coach Valentine and Coach Stack. We talked about with the defense was the bend, don't break, and then with the offense, you did just enough. And, when you look at the film and you say, how can we get better? What can we clean up? For me, it's drop passes on offense, and then on defense, tackle, and we got to get rid of those missed tackles. And we do those 2 things. This is a really, really dangerous group of guys right down here.
Well, you are watching the Arrows postgame show brought to you by Hedstrom Entertainment, having unplugged fun for more than 100 years. And the Arrows come out victorious, and you see the fantastic marching band led by Marty Krall and company, Cam Diedrich, and a fantastic crew out there. I got to tell you guys, we always talk about predictions before the game off the air.
Yeah.
We all
had wins.
We all predicted wins, but nobody really was that close on the score. We all had it in the 20s. I guess, we thought there might be a little more offense today, but both defenses showed up.
Yeah, what was my prediction? We can talk about it now. 24-14?
Yeah, you're probably the closest.
Yeah, and I think it kind of played out the way I thought. It's hard to pitch a shutout. It's hard to put up a 0 against a good team. You're going to have maybe a busted play. You're going to have an opportunity for someone to get a big score. Let's go down to Coach Valentine real quick.
Well, that was one excited bunch of guys, men down there as coaches, and those kids, man, they're doing somersaults in the end zone, really, really stoked.
Well, anytime you can get a big win. And we knew this was going to be a big game. for some of the things we want down the road. And, for us, the way we battled, we had to battle for 4 quarters, and we knew that coming in, and that was a big win.
I think you'll agree with me. It wasn't pretty at times. Sometimes it was downright not cute in any way, but they say a W is a W.
Well, yeah, and we'll enjoy every win we get, and definitely when you're playing good people, it's never going to look pretty. You just got to make enough plays to win, and that's what we did.
Brandon up there talked about in the pregame show that this is the first win for the Arrows against the Quakers since 1986. I was a whopping 7 years old.
And I was just out of college, so that tells you how long ago it was.
Well, I tell you this every week. You can't win them all unless you win the first 4, and you and your Arrows have done that. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
It's Coach Valentine, brought to you by Spring Smith Agency. Chris Mowry down there with Coach, and he's going to grab some players. Tony, I'll just tell you, I'm not surprised that we won. I'm surprised that it was so low scoring, but boy, Coach Stack's defense was ready to rock and roll, and Bernie continues to take steps. The Arrows had a couple turnovers. One was a miscommunication on the throw, and then a Franz tough throw. We'll send it down to Chris, who's got, I think, Coach Stackhouse.
I do. I got Coach Stackhouse, but I got a trifecta of Stack. What's your name, little man?
Chip.
Chip.
I love it.
How old are you?
6.
Did the Arrows win tonight?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to your brother. Hey, big boy, what's your name?
Griffin.
Griffin? Forrest Griffin? Your dad knows who he is, I bet. How old are you?
8.
Coach, you got to teach them to get their ages out a little bit quicker.
Sometimes it's a little hard for us to process after a win like this.
I told Coach Valentine, and Brandon talked about it, this is the first win since the Quakers since 1986 for the Arrows.
I knew it was coming up soon. We've been playing pretty tough against them. Last year I felt that we played tough against them, and the kids played a hell of a game tonight.
I said on air, and Brandon said this is like the Greg Williams Browns defense. I said, we're doing the bend but don't break, and we did that on several key possessions tonight. And you got to be super proud of these guys.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a balance of let's bring some pressure, let's let the kids sit back and make some plays. And like I said, kids played amazing tonight.
You don't like to bring pressure, do you?
No, not at all.
All right, guys, I'm here with Tyler Sauter. That's got to feel good, man.
Oh, it feels great, dude. That's amazing.
So were you one of the knuckleheads doing somersaults in the end zone as you guys came in there, like taking a chance of getting hurt?
No, I wasn't one of those guys. I'm that, I think, but that wasn't me. I didn't somersault. I might have been jumping.
Well, you guys have every right to jump up and down. I mentioned this, and Brandon said it on air. This is the first win against the Quakers since 1986. Just to give you a bit of history, I'm 7 years old. It's got to feel good.
Oh, yeah, it feels amazing, especially after what happened last year going to their place. It was a 2-score game, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but still felt like we should have won that game. A lot of little things we should have done differently, and this year we took it to them and got the job done.
Well, it puts you in great position in the OCC. Obviously, we're not looking forward ahead to anybody. We got Maple Heights next week, but you and your buddies got to feel real good where you stand.
Yeah, this is a great start, 1-0. That's all you can ask for, start off 1-0, and then you go from there.
Congratulations, great game.
Thank you.
Nathan Bernhardt here, the junior quarterback, and I'll tell you what, you guys played great, and you got to be proud of the line of scrimmage, really. I talked about that in the pregame show, that if we could control the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively, I thought we were going to be really good and really dangerous tonight. Would you agree that we did that pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, defensively we did. Defensively played great. Offensively, we came out strong in the first half, struggled a little bit in the second half, had way too many miscues. But we rebounded at the ends. Then we had that fumble, but then we came back on, got the first down, did just enough to win, which is all you got to do.
I think you and the rest of your teammates realized we don't have to have our best to beat really good teams, and that is magnified as we get further into the season. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it's the best team we played so far. To be able to come out of this and still get a win and know that there's a lot of things you could have done better, I mean, that's a great feeling to just know we got that win. That's a great team. They came out, we knew they were going to control the clock, eat up a lot of time off the clock, and then, that was going to limit our possessions. And luckily we were able to capitalize just enough to get the win. So
I know 2 text messages from people that should be in your phone when you're done. That's your brother Nick, and that's your brother Zach, and they say, "Congratulations, little brother, you got one for us against the Quakers."
Yep, for sure. Feels great.
Right, congratulations. Here's the man that is the Truax Sprinting Player of the Game. This is junior place kicker extraordinaire after tonight, Carson O'Brien. Congratulations. When we had that first kick, right, we went up 3-0. We thought, okay, hey, we got on the board. Who knew that was going to be the ultimate outcome in the game?
I mean, yeah,
went out there. I hadn't had any field goals prior this season, so I know I had to make that one. Started off 1-1 for my field goals. So,
are those real earrings?
Nah.
Those are like, they call them CZs.
I mean, yeah. Well, we can call them real though if you want to.
Well, you're the one who gave it away, man. I was setting you up.
Yeah, they're CZs.
Tell him he played a gem of a game.
My partner up there wants me to tell you played a gem of a game.
Hey, thank you, man. That means a lot.
All right, congratulations. All right, we're here with two Beefcake boys that control the line of scrimmage. Briggs and Gertel and Liam, you were wreaking some havoc out there today, man. That had to feel good to get a win against the Quakers.
Oh, yeah, especially against New Philly after what happened last year. We had that circled on our schedule.
Everybody mentions last year. I was down there, too. It was a little bit of a frustration. But, since 1986, the first Arrows win. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it's got to give you a lot of confidence going forward.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For the rest of the conference games and the out-of-conference game, too, it's got us going good.
When are you going to start working on Maple Heights?
Probably tomorrow.
But you're going to enjoy this one, though, first, right?
For sure.
Congratulations. Brandon Briggs, you were our player of the game, or a player's profile today. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
I didn't either until about 3:45 this afternoon when I had to ask my buddy up there, who's the player or the player profile. That was you. Hey, man, you guys have been playing fantastic on the offensive line. Tonight was a little different New Philly team. They were getting pressure. They were tough. But you guys had only allowed 2 sacks thus far through the season through 3 games. What's been allowing that offensive line unit to come together and play so much better compared to last year?
We're really communicating well on the line and picking up blitzes better than last year. And so we're a whole lot stronger than last year, and it's just better all around.
So would you say that this puts you guys in the right position that you're looking forward to for a bunch of the team goals?
Oh, 100%, yeah. We are looking at an OCC championship, and 1-0 is a great help in the OCC.
I read something where Kevin Stefanski, I think he's way overrated, but nonetheless, he said something that was really great. He says it's not a marathon, but for the Browns case, it's 17 sprints. For us, it's 10 sprints, meaning it's game to game, right?
Yeah. I agree with that quote 100%.
But we need a win this Sunday, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
It was awful last week.
I don't know what happened.
We need a new quarterback?
I say yes.
I agree with that. Good game. Congratulations.
Just to be clear,
he's talking about the Browns,
if you
not the Arrows.
Right, you go the last 5-10 seconds of that. He meant the Browns need a new quarterback.
Yes. Deshaun Watson can go back wherever.
Yeah, look, Bernie. I mean, maybe give him about 6 years. He might be ready for that. But I will tell you, Chris, good job down there. Appreciate it as always. Tony, the Arrows, obviously, like you said, we're off to a great start in the OCC and looking around the league. Man, we got a chance to maybe even run the table.
Yeah, there's a shot at it, and there's still questions that we'll find out when we watch some film, just like the coaches on what happened in the OCC across the state this Friday night.
Hey, buddy.
You got another guest down there, Chris?
Go ahead, Chris.
I do. I have a guest.
This is way more important.
This is way more important than 3 grown men breaking down some football. What's your name?
Hudson.
Who's on your jersey?
Tyler.
That's Tyler for you uneducated people that don't speak 3-year-old. Can you say it clearer?
Tyler.
That's good.
Did the Arrows win or lose tonight?
Win.
What was the score?
2-0.
2-0, guys. We're playing baseball. We won 2-0 over the Minutemen on a walk-off 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th. What are you thinking about next week? Are you going to be here to support the Arrows?
I have a game.
You have a game?
You got a game tomorrow. You play for the Packers, don't you?
Yeah.
Not Uncle Chris's Packers, but
I'm gonna score a touchdown over glass.
oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna take this.
I'm gonna get tackled.
Okay, so I'm gonna take this out, and you get up there and show Brandon and Tony your touchdown celebration. Right here. Turn around. Show them your touchdown celebration. No. Okay, stop. Show them.
You gotta get back in the camera, young man.
No, come here.
Oh my gosh. Let's see it, buddy. Right there. Hudson showing us the touchdown dance. Oh my goodness. There it is, the touchdown dance.
Oh, I got nothing more after that, gentlemen.
Thank you, Chris. Well done as always down there, my friend. Tony, we were talking before the touchdown dance, which was fantastic. The Arrows have an opportunity potentially. Looking at the schedule, you can only play them one at a time, but in the OCC, they have a chance to win the conference, and I don't think there's any games out there that I think we're going to be the underdog in.
No, if anything, I think next week is another test, another challenge. This was the question of, can you physically play with a team that's going to play physical?
Yeah.
Maple Heights is going to be a team that's going to be fast.
Right.
So we know we have speed. We know we have a lot of talent. We've played in the bad weather. We can do that. We can score fast. We saw that at Marion Harding. We can run the ball. We saw that at River Valley. Next is when speed meets speed, what can we do? Come on out to Community Stadium week 5.
What do we have to clean up going into next week against Maple Heights? Because they're going to come in. They were 3-0 entering tonight, and they were a pretty big favorite tonight as well. Probably going to be 4-0 and maybe one of the best games in the state next week.
Yeah, the good chance of it. Kristen nailed it, tackling, having secure tackles defensively, finding ways to get takeaways. It seemed like our defense 95% of the time is really locked in. There are times, though, that I do think they just kind of take plays off, and against good teams, you're going to give up some really big plays. So defense just needs to continue to play well, to continue to rally the football. Offensively, I think it comes and goes. A couple of miscues, a fumble from Michael Franz kind of turned the tables on what really felt emotionally like we were going to dominate that fourth quarter, and all of a sudden the game was kind of in question. A Nathan Bernhard, Crudy miscommunication, and that's an interception on the negative side of the football field. So you take those two away, and I think this game actually feels a lot different. So offensively, I don't have a whole lot of worries or things that I would change. It's just more of the same next week for week 5.
Well, next week, Maple Heights comes into town, the third of the 3-game homestand, if you will, which has been fantastic. And they'll be here for a 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. Looking out on the field and wondering what's happening. We have an ambulance out there, guys, and just praying that everything's okay out there. But football-wise, at 6:30, we'll go on the air. We'll talk more about what's happened in the OCC this week. We'll give you a rundown on all of that. We'll preview all of the OCC action next week. And the Arrows, obviously, that non-conference before we then go on the road against Madison. And then we're back here, I think, against Mansfield Senior, who struggled again tonight and I think lost to West Holmes.
Yeah, and again, Chucky Bradley's going to figure it out. They're going to bring their best against Ashland each and every week. And again, I think Madison is an improved team. Madison Rams came into this season having only 6 wins in the last 8 seasons, but they've played well in their 3 losses, and I think they got a win here tonight against Worcester. So I think the Madison Rams isn't the get-right game. I think, sometimes it used to be, you're playing the Rams, you get to rest everyone. It's going to be a game that you're still going to have to battle. But, yeah, if you can get through Maple Heights, you get through Madison, it's an opportunity to reset things. And then it's West Holmes, it's Mansfield Senior. And then there's a looming Week 10 where Lexington comes to town.
Bring them on. Looking forward to it. Well, thanks to our crew, to Brandon Gunder, to Garth Boyd, and to Ian Owens as well. Fantastic job, guys. It has been a fun night of football. Arrows move to 4-0 with a 17-14 victory. For Tony Van Dyne and Chris Mowry, I'm Brandon Wells saying God bless, Godspeed, and good.